weird singing.
Sí. Y'all ever been to the quinceañera and they're like, al compadre, al compadre.
I haven't been to a
show.
quinceañera. Like, I haven't been to a quinceañera since. I can't remember last.
What's
time.
that thing we went to that was in the hood and it had like a live band? It was at somebody's back house with a big tent. It was like that. Yeah.
When was this?
It was me, you. Damn, I think even LR was there.
Interesting.
Philly may have been there.
Was it a family event?
Yeah, it was like all family and had the live
and we
band.
brought you to it?
I don't know. It was weird. I don't know why Joe brought me to it, but
Because your family.
That's true. That's true, Keenan. This episode today is going to be about how your family. Your family, Keenan.
New family.
Your family?
Well, if we brought you, it's probably because you speak Spanish, Keenan. Go ahead. Show us the Spanish.
Show us your Spanish, please. Go ahead.
El compadre.
Okay.
Keep going.
El guapo.
Okay. I'm with you.
La biblioteca.
Okay.
Chonies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That, okay. Slang, a little bit of slang. Okay. Continue.
Si punto.
Oh, that one.
You're going to need it when World War III comes and then you got to cross the border to Mexico.
I heard about that. Dude, I got a video to show you. It's hilarious. It's about some dude pretending to be mentally disabled to not get into the military.
Yeah.
And then he was like,
Long Beach Griffey.
oh, you saw that?
Yeah. I follow him.
That was hilarious. Just the acting alone was just like,
He gets slapped and he's like,
He's
you
like-
think anybody else hasn't tried that shit?
we let people in with no legs, no arms.
He's like, we want to be equal opportunity. And then he's like, the plan is so good.
Yeah.
It's, the word that I don't like. But
That was hilarious. But that's some trippy shit. Like, you just up and kill some high commando from a nation that doesn't like you in the first place. It's like, what the fuck? Like, why?
Yeah.
And then we had that whole talk about Obama doing all that crazy shit and how bad he was killing all these people and stuff like that with drones. And then we get this stuff. At least Obama didn't start a war.
Wow. I mean, I want to
welcome one. Welcome all. To episode 57 of the None of Our Business podcast. We are your hosts, Philly fanatic, philanthropy, philosophy, sane, silent temple, P-Money, Peace Easy, Filipinos. We have Keenan, CNN Dunkaroos, Canine, C-Section, C-Notice, CD's Nuts, see your way out of here. Keenan Duncan. And I'm Joe.
Oh. Doesn't Joe have a lot?
Let's get ready to rumble.
Let's get ready to rumble.
You see how he's competing?
I know he's yeah.
It was the
big dick
bigger
energy.
dick,
Kind of
bigger thick, bigger.
Yeah.
Take your time.
You two have competed dick wise, right?
Nope.
I don't
No?
think.
There's never been a situation where like
we're like Vegeta and Goku. We just fuse, and we become.
They call that docking.
we cross
In real life.
we cross swords and streams.
oh my god. And
Streams.
I remember
Streams.
I remember what the sexual position was that you were like so confused you never heard it before.
Oh, you remember the name?
It's called a Cleveland steamer.
Cleveland Steamer.
And Philly was like, "What?"
He mentioned it to me one day in the car. I couldn't stop laughing because I had never heard of that shit.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, he meant to do it to you?
No. I don't
Wait a
know
minute,
what it
guys.
is, but when he mentioned it, I was like, "That's a fucking sexual position."
Okay,
Yeah.
I've never heard of it, so just please explain
Well,
it.
it has something to do with taking a shit on someone, or it's like because of the steam of the shit or whatever.
A
I don't know where it's
Cleveland
supposed to go.
steamer.
Yeah, and then
A
someone
steaming hot pile of shit. And
someone
sex.
said that there's a sexual thing. I believe they made this up. I know for sure, but it's like you take a shit in somebody else's butt. Like it's,
God.
and there's like a term for that.
Ah, gosh, man, that's disgusting.
That's not
It's
some
so
two
nasty.
girls in one cup type.
I
Here's
don't know,
here's a
man.
question. Have you guys watched the Dragon episode of Rick and Morty?
Yes.
Yeah, oh, that's right. Yeah. The
You
did, right?
sexualness.
Yeah. When they're talking, no, but there's a scene where the talking cat,
Yeah.
he's like on a boat with a bunch of people in Miami.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then they're talking about all these different sexual positions, and the dude's like, does that really exist? Or are you just saying it for the sake of saying it?
Yeah.
Like, and if it does, wouldn't you want a better name for it? Like, they're like, get the hell out of your cat.
That's why he gets kicked off.
But people do that. People just make up names and oh, it's that's what that means. I'm pretty sure nobody ever did an Abe Lincoln.
Here's my question.
What is an Abe Lincoln? Hold on.
Wow, what?
Abe Lincoln is when you jizz in the girl's face and you take your pubes and throw it on her chin.
How is that Abe Lincoln?
Because he has a beard.
Keenan's like, and whatever happened to the good old fashioned days when there was sexual positions like the Abe Lincoln, the Cleveland Steamer, the Dirty Sanchez?
For me, it was like, well, yeah, the Dirty Sanchez.
It's a common. It's a common one. Yeah. But that means somebody had to have done it to call it.
But what happened to the days when it was just good old fashioned bukkake? You know, like.
But now I thought bukkake was like multiple dudes.
It is.
Okay, it is. Okay.
It's just a.
It's just a like showering of jizz.
Shower of jizz.
Oh my God.
Not that I've ever done a bukkake with.
Yeah. Oh, like you have pals. A shower of jizz on you?
I haven't done a bukkake with all my pals and a very special lady.
Oh God.
I haven't joined in a circle for bukkake in years, man.
Oh, Dutch rudder. That's also another
Dutch rudder.
That's where you're like in a circle and you jerk each other one off.
No,
to the right.
Dutch rudder. Actually, you might be right. No, it's
to
the
right,
Dutch
right?
rudder is someone else when someone else jerks you off.
Yeah, and you jerk them off.
That's a double Dutch rudder.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah. Wait, so it's not a circle jerk. I don't know. Somebody did. There's a term where you're jerking the person to your right.
That's a circle jerk.
If you are in a car right now in traffic listening to this, just know that your windows should probably be down so that the people next to you can hear this.
Everyone
needs to hear it.
Because let's face it, America has such a big taboo on sex. Such a big taboo on sex.
Yeah. We do. We pretend we're the nastiest and the raunchiest, but the fact is that we're very timid when it comes to like talking about sex.
Let me tell you something.
What?
Apparently, this is in the Czech Republic. All right.
Okay.
But supposedly, there's a place where they have all these girls, and there's these cutouts in the wall, and their legs are sticking out, or maybe their head's sticking out.
Like glory holes, kind of.
Yeah,
thing?
but 2.0 version. Like it's the VR glory hole. Like they have like I don't know, their legs are sticking out of the wall, and then dudes will come in, pay money, they go to whatever hole they feel like pleasuring, they just bang the shit out of the person, and then the next guy comes in.
I'd be afraid of paper cuts. You know, because they're cutouts, right? So
they're not cutouts.
Oh, like to access the holes, no?
So you're saying this is like a glory hole vending machine kind of situation?
Imagine a massage chair or table, but you put like a blanket over her stomach, so you don't see the upper half, you just see the bottom half. But instead, this is a wooden wall.
So it doesn't matter if she's a butterface.
Wait, I'm confused. Hold on. Explain. Okay, I need a little more detail on this.
So because I thought you said it was a whole wall.
Well, I mean a hole in the wall, big enough for the legs to come through.
And it does the legs and the area, or is there a hole for each leg and then a hole for the actual hole?
No, it's a hole big enough, and it's like just again massage table. Okay, so imagine a massage table.
So it's like a magician where he cuts the body in half, except
You're trying to add.
we only see the bottom leg.
Yes, bottom half. Yeah. So imagine this is the wall, and I'm putting my fingers up, and I'm spreading my fingers right now. But then
let me see that again.
It's right. No, but they do it, and there's different parts of the wall have different sections of the women sticking out. So it's either a natural glory hole with the mouth, or there's just the ass part with whatever's exposed.
You said it was in the Czech Republic.
Yeah, in the Czech Republic, and dudes would come in and pay money at the front, and then they walk in through this maze of walls with all these different women sticking out, and bang it out, and next guy would come through and do it, and so on and so forth. And
definitely not in America.
It's basically a big old gangbang, for.
And you just get to choose what you want. What's the flavor of the day? Today I want a fucking ass.
Yep.
Today I want to
fuck a vagina, or I want to hold the legs, or I want just my dick sucked, or something like that.
Wow.
Yep. Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're ever in the Czech Republic,
your flight for the Czech Republic is now boarding.
Some wild shit. So America is dirty, but you'll find some places around the world.
But that's not even what I mean. As far as
Americans will eat a grape and be like, "Ooh, it's nasty."
Yeah, we're like, nasty sex. But then when it comes to really talking about it,
they're serious.
Most of them are like,
That's right, because most couples
talk about that.
Couples won't even talk about their own sex between each other.
Well, sex education in school is just as bad, like.
I think that's why, though. I think because we're taught that it's a very special thing, and
between two lovers.
Yeah,
and you have to be like, yeah,
and you're taught it. I don't know if they still teach it in school, but you're taught this in like middle school when you're like at your most pervious. So
yeah,
it's
true.
Well, I don't know about it being the most pervious.
Joe was a perv in middle school. Okay,
so I was pretty fucking perv. Yeah,
and
that's how we bonded.
If you are listening to this in traffic and somebody just pissed you off, just let it go. Just let it go, and then give in to the good times that the noob is giving you.
Oh yeah, it's 5:00 on a Sunday night.
Yeah, Monday.
Today's Monday.
It's the noob.
because whoever's listening to this, we record on Sundays but post on Mondays.
God damn it, Keenan.
You're listening to the new podcast on Mondays. But yeah,
boy in the morning.
even your parents will say, if you ask them at a young age, hey, what is sex or whatever, and they'll go, well, when a man loves a woman or when a woman loves a man, and it's like that's not 100% true, and
it isn't,
and you'll find out later that it's not 100% true, and that's when you embed that in the child's mind, they start growing up. Oh, it's about love and whatnot. And then you hit college or high school or whatever,
and everybody's fucking. It's like, wait a minute,
and it's like you're doing it all wrong.
Like,
that's what happened to you, right? You thought it was love, and then.
Well, my parents told me that, but we all know the story about what happened with Keenan in elementary school, and how it fucked up the rest of his life. So
we're laughing at it now, but
that was a tough one. Hey, therapy's a thing, man.
Well, the noob is my therapy. You guys know that, especially the soapbox.
Wow.
But it's kind of trippy how we give this false illusion, and you can imagine about all the other false illusions we give each other when we're kids to believe in a certain way, and then we grow up, we find out it's totally bonkers, and not just relationships. Do you find
that any habits you had in high school still follow you today? Because a lot of our identity forms around the age of 16 or so, and so
give me an example of a habit.
Whether it's a mental belief that you carried in high school that like follows you to this day, or a substance habit, or just like is there anything that started in high school for you that just still seems normal to you now, even though it probably doesn't serve you, that you just haven't like checked?
That's
like drinking, or
yeah, I mean, who knows? Like, I'm just saying, is there anything, whether it's I cared a lot in high school about what people thought of what I wore, so to this day I still make sure I'm fresh fitted because that's right. I'm a star on these hoes, or you know what I mean, or what else?
Video games, I guess.
Popularity games. Where people wanted to be the most popular, and so now when you're in an office space or wherever you are, you're still worried about who is most liked or whatever.
I can't say if anything like that from, again, Joe knows who I was in high school. So my transformation of what Joe brought to me is what I kept. The transformation in the theater.
Yeah,
department.
You're a lot more, no, but also you're a lot, well, even if it's a little, but it's a lot more assertive for sure. You're able to say no, or for the most part. As far as like, you were very reserved in high school.
Can you say no now, Keenan?
In high school, you were very
say yes.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Yes. No, but he was a bit more reserved. Like, he was a bit more not closeted, because that's a.
Well, were you in the closet?
I was in a classroom. That counts. Not a closet, but a classroom.
You wouldn't go out.
I wouldn't go out. I didn't hang out with anybody during lunch.
And then one day Joe walked into the classroom. He was like, "Hey,
nope.
What are you doing here, man?"
I passed by the theater department, and I was just hanging around Joe. And then
he laughed at one of your jokes, and then you guys became friends.
No, it was more like he saw more of me. I don't know. I
know you guys are childhood friends. But
I can't remember the exact moment, but I think Joe may have noticed I was behind him more often than usual.
And Joe's like, "What the fuck?"
And then Joe's like, man? "Well, yeah," or no. Well, Joe's more like, "Why don't you come in closer to the circle?"
He brought you in. Okay.
Yeah.
It was then that I knew that my life would be changed forever.
It was at that moment that my life changed forever.
Pretty much. But it was
with
more.
your samurai Hawaiian T-shirt, or you know what I'm saying? Is that what you were wearing?
I'll post a picture on the new podcast because I have one, not of me in high school, but it's the same shirt I wore in high school, but I wore it in college like an idiot. So I'll find it and I'll post it. But
Like
yeah,
Stifler.
I wore the fucking Hawaiian shirts. It was.
You love the Hawaiian
I don't know
shirts.
why my whole family wore it. It was like,
Yeah.
I look back and was like, what the fuck was I
Yeah,
thinking?
your dad wore it.
My dad wore it heavily.
Yeah, he wore a Hawaiian shirt.
My brother wore it. Funny enough, my brother wore a fucking not kimono, but like one of those what is it? Karate outfits.
A gi.
Yeah.
Yeah, to like when he was in college, and a friend of his was like, "What are you doing? Stop walking around with that."
And then he got self-conscious and he was like,
Pretty much. Yeah.
I'm not going to wear this anymore.
But I was closed-minded, I guess you would say, or closed off. I mean, not so much in the closet, because I have friends I had a huge amount of friends throughout uni. I just didn't.
High school.
High school. Am I supposed to say uni?
No, it's just
Oh,
people
But
might
for
not get-
the
no.
people overseas,
Gotcha,
they think
gotcha.
of uni and they're thinking of university.
Gotcha.
you know?
Yeah, our high school where I knew, and a lot of friends Joe knew, like David, Edward, and all that stuff, and Larry, and the list goes on and on. And we saw each other. We saw each more
Wow.
in class.
Keenan.
We saw each more in class. We didn't
see.
We didn't have a lot of classes together in the first 3 years.
Back in the day, there was definitely some moms that I was like,
Oh my god!
damn.
All right, isn't there a mom currently that's damn?
Hey, I don't know what you're talking
Or maybe a
about.
grandmother.
I want to say our senior year we had.
Our senior year is when we hung out the most. All of our classes were together. We, that's what I was saying. I was more around
That's
Joe.
back then when high school. I mean, when high school had like 2 classes or like 3.
Yeah,
periods.
our high
3
school
classes max. Right?
had like, it was a 3 class or 4 class.
They were like 2 hours
System,
long or something.
yeah.
like
4.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had 3 classes. Actually, our
You could have
senior year, I only had like 2 classes.
if you're up at a moment, because you get to have a not a bypass, but there's like you can skip something. You get
Yeah,
you get the option to have 3 or 4 or something
Yeah.
like that. And if you took certain ones early, like you had all 4 straight in the first 3 years, your senior year you can have like 3.
Hey, that's a
Yeah.
question.
That's
what
happened.
Would you guys ever look back on high school and say maybe I should have taken one of those classes a little more seriously?
I did.
I know I should have taken shit more
Yeah.
serious. I ended up having to do like night school for
Yeah.
a class that,
Yeah.
but see that was the English class that you and I had in the mornings.
Oh yeah.
I would never show up, and when I did, I was just like, she would like be like, "Get the fuck out of here."
And I remember
No
Joe
shit.
when we did like live reading. Joe was the only one that tried to get serious with the acting. Nobody else was playing it, and the teacher was kind of into it, but also like, "Hey, you're kind of overacting over there, Joe." Like he was being a class clown,
The
but he
whole
wasn't.
class hated whenever I would read.
Really?
They'd always be like, "Ugh," because I would read it so well.
Oh.
They'd be like, next. And the teacher would be like, now.
And then we always had the one, and I'm pretty sure I had that in yours, where there's always that one girl that reads really fast, like really, really fast. Like for some reason you can't slow this person down.
I don't know. In high school, when I think
I
back
don't
to it,
remember.
most of the girls in class, they were legit, had their little mirrors out, and they were checking their makeup a lot.
Oh,
and
I had it differently.
They
Every
weren't they weren't interested at all. In fact, it was like quite the opposite.
Oh,
Especially in English class, there was maybe 3 students who were actually engaged and participating.
damn. I think we had a lot more in ours. Maybe.
Probably.
I remember a history teacher we had together where she was like a child of the Civil War grandfathers and stuff.
Oh wow!
And her father was in the CIA and would take helicopter trips from her house to
Really?
the facility. And I was tripping.
My advanced composition class, everyone in that class took it seriously, but that was because
Now our government class, or not poli-sci, our government with Takagaki,
Government, yeah.
Takagaki.
everybody took him seriously.
Everyone
Yeah.
knows him.
Yeah.
Anyone
Yeah.
who ever went to our high school doesn't leave that high school without running into Takagaki. At least
He made
once.
it fun. He made it
He was
interesting.
he was one of the better teachers.
Yeah.
He definitely.
Is he still there? I don't know.
No, I think he
don't know.
left. But
Is he still around?
If he ever gets a chance to hear this, shout outs to Takagaki.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
So there is a class or two that you in particular.
100%.
Ah, that's right. You're talking- Joe was talking about.
Oh,
the
I
other
missed
day.
out on this insight.
No,
Oh, that
You weren't
happened
there.
during
Yeah,
New
yeah.
Year.
Joe-
Oh.
Joe-
Whatever. I had a better New Year's Eve.
Oh,
Joe's
did
been
you?
talking
You sure?
about
Yeah.
how
Did
lately.
he have sex?
No.
Okay.
Fuck it. It's Philly. So back to Philly because Because
I don't know.
So there's no specific class you guys can think back where you're like, damn, I really wish I would have like taken, because it was free education, you know, like high school.
even it turns out okay. I might be 100% wrong because I swear, even if it's a public school, it's not free. Our parents are paying for us to be there in some
like
form or
tax
fashion.
dollars or something, but.
Yeah.
I don't
You know what's
remember.
crazy? You know what's crazy is the schools make money per student in attendance. That's why attendance is
Yeah.
such a big fucking
Yeah.
deal.
I could have swore our parents had to pay.
Otherwise,
some sort of,
their budgets get cut
No.
if they're
Public
not.
I'll
school
look into
is
that.
free, but obviously you're
That's
paying
why.
with your
That's why
taxes.
high schools are like prisons to keep students in, so
Well,
their attendance.
Los Angeles
is in
High was
order.
prison.
Oh, LA High was for sure. Bro.
And looking guard towers and shit.
LA High, where's that at?
It's right here off of
It's actually
if you're
close to
if you live
Beverly.
in LA, it's off of Olympic and Rimpow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You drive by when you're going down Olympic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Across the street from the park.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
It was trippy.
A lot of memories.
Those
That's
our
cool.
rivals. Did you fights there over there? Because they were our rivals.
Never a
No?
fight.
What about Palisades? Did you ever go to Pacific Palisades?
I didn't.
I thought that was-
I mean, I've been there a couple times. Yeah,
Right.
I
but
thought that was more of our friendly neighbor was Pacific
No.
Palisades.
I always hated like the sports games. Like I would attend because my friends wanted to go and like we were gonna hang out. Excuse me, but I'd just be like, what the fuck is the point of this? And like we'd be there and we'd watch them play, but I don't know. For me, maybe I have a serious problem with like sports. I just doesn't like. I get the athletic
doesn't resonate with you.
performance or what? Yeah, but
Foreshadow.
it'd be the equivalent of like me not being sexually attracted to something. You know, like it just doesn't do it for me. There's nothing about sports that does it for me.
I wish I was more
Really?
involved in
Yeah.
the sports.
that is.
I tried
weird.
out for the basketball team.
You did?
Yeah.
Nice. Did
Yeah.
you? How far did you get? No.
I got to the trials and that was it.
Like, were they assholes about it, or
They were like, get
No,
this,
because when you have people
get this
like
young boy out of here.
I mean, when you have people like Albert and you have what's his other name?
They were just a bunch of athletic individuals.
Super
Tall
dudes and
athletic
shit,
dudes
yeah.
who really had the game down better than I did. There was a few shorter people on the team that
They
can
were
really.
ballers.
I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah,
I
yeah.
remember realizing that all the girls I kind of liked in school were all into like all the sports players, and I was like, "Fuck."
Well, I wish I was involved more with just being around it. Like you said, I wanted to go to them, but I didn't go to a lot of them.
Oh man, I fucking hate pep rallies in particular.
Yeah?
I was like, "Oh my god."
I wish I
Joe was
did
like,
more.
"You guys had no fucking school spirit. Did you have school spirit, Joe?"
Yeah, shit. I'll bring my high school book. You'll see it on every page.
I was
The
only.
Lewis.
I was
Oh
only.
yeah.
Not even my actual picture was in the yearbook. I was just in some miscellaneous photo somewhere in a yearbook, and only once out of the 4 years of high school I went.
Oh really?
I'm the same way. You know what picture you'll see me in? It's the chess club picture. And I'm in the back of that
Weren't you in the
movie club with
Yeah,
Asher.
right.
Yeah, I even tried to. I worked on our website. Here's the funny thing. This is how you know I'm still dirty today. I wrote those reviews for movies on our movie club website, which was done by like GeoCities or Yahoo, whatever. It has so many fuck words and like shit this and this movie was bullshit and this scene was like ass and it was like
Keenan's Jay from Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah.
You are the ones who are the ball lickers.
yeah, I think Asher or someone in the group was like, we should probably tone down some of the language on this. I was like, what? I was being real. This will be the real website that everybody goes to.
So
That didn't work, did it?
Did you feel like you were a part of the high school experience, like
Nope.
the community?
No,
I didn't.
not at all. And I wish I
didn't.
was.
And I knew a lot of people, and a lot of people knew me, but I didn't
Yeah.
feel like I was a part of the high
That's
school
why I did it
experience.
with Joe. That's the ending year was like the best year because I really tried to implement
And
myself
I
in that.
think this carries over into now. If we look at like how Joe is seamlessly able to be a part of like something like TSG, you know,
What's up,
the
TSG?
LAFC,
What's up, my
the
guys?
the LAFC.
He misses it.
Supporter group.
He's like reliving his high school
And then,
memories.
No, not at all. No,
and then
that's when he
whereas
peaked.
whereas like you and I, like we're just kind of like, yeah, we're doing our own fucking thing. Like,
Yeah, although I am adaptable. I'm very adaptable. Maybe that's because I was hidden in many places and had so many friends, but still hidden. It's because I can put myself pretty much
I feel
anywhere
like
and make friends.
interesting.
Maybe that's why I make friends. Oh, sorry.
no. It's fine. Go, keep going.
I was maybe that's why I make friends easily because I didn't do that in high school heavily. Yeah.
So it's like a thing you want to do now.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking chameleon. Like I could get into any social situation, and just be part of it. Like
Yeah. Did you know he was
It's
part
weird.
of the KKK 3 years ago?
I mean,
He was like the gold chief
He
member.
infiltrated it.
He infiltrated-
keep coming
And he was like, "Get him, get him, Jasper,
Get him. Be like, oh, geez. Listen, fellas.
So
my power."
Australia's on fire.
It is, man.
What the
Yeah, that caught
fuck?
me by
It's been on
surprise.
fire. That's the thing, though. It's been on fire for like a month now.
Oh, I didn't find out till like Saturday.
Same here.
Yeah.
It's social media.
I haven't been checking the social.
That's just
medias,
been,
but-
yeah, it's been
I saw
burning
them. I
for
saw
a
them.
minute.
Apparently, they raised over like $6 million.
Yeah, but
online.
it's been
Damn it!
burning
Why didn't we talk about this
forever.
last week?
I didn't know about it
It
personally.
was
I
the
don't want to
2019
know,
blowout.
It was the 2019 blowout. Welcome to the first episode of the new year,
Yes,
gentlemen.
congratulations.
You see how brief that Australia talk was?
I know,
Yeah.
I know.
This is like everything else is social
It's in
media.
life,
Like,
yeah, right?
Like people are gonna post about it for the next week, and then it'll be gone again. Like
which
just
doesn't
like-
which doesn't make it any less of a serious thing.
it doesn't.
No.
But the truth is, yeah, like if you care, donate, and that's it.
Yeah.
Same thing
it's
with
that
Brazil.
simple.
Brazil was on fire. We're not talking about that anymore.
We talked about it incredibly briefly. Like it was nothing. Like
We mentioned as we started the podcast the whole war.
Mhm.
yeah.
And the war we
These
talked
are
about for
all
like
things
5
that will
minutes.
be spoken about for a week, and then it'll be gone.
Damn, what's going to happen with human society? This is weird.
This is what we do. We live life in short bursts.
I think this is a time when I always come back to the ideas in the 7 habits of highly effective people. There's 2 circles. There's your circle of concern and your circle of influence. Circle of concern will always be wider in terms of circumference than your circle of influence, right? You're concerned about all kinds of shit, but how many things can you actually influence? Now, within your circle of influence, you can share a post, raise awareness. You can donate, right? You can start a committee to sort of see what else you can do. Those are things that are within your influence. But actually getting rid of the fires yourself, that's the circle of concern because you're
Won't
not
be able to do
located there
shit,
unless
yeah.
you're nothing short of flying over. And then even then, I'm pretty sure they won't let you near the wildlife because number 1, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
And number 2, the wildlife themselves may also be dangerous.
Yeah.
Because Australia is famous for wildlife that is actually pretty fucking wild.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's the thing. Like, we can't really do shit short of donating money or maybe finding an organization who's accepting like donations.
and even then, like
Yeah.
everything else, how can we be sure that the,
The money gets
organization?
used. Yep,
Because
yep,
look at what happened with
yep.
Puerto Rico. There
Yep.
was that whole thing where they were actually holding up all the donations to make Trump look worse.
Yeah.
So all the shit that we sent, someone there was actually colluding to hold it up to make him look worse. So just to get him a point for impeachment and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like,
So
that's how
they
bad
thought
that
they were
is.
doing a noble cause, but it really wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then at the same time, just by withholding all those donations, they still made the people suffer.
Mhm.
And I'm pretty sure Flint still doesn't have clean water.
They're still talking about Flint.
They
not
get
having clean
spoken
water.
about every couple of months.
Yeah. Bring it back in and take
So
it
again, all those are major concerns. Super cool, right? But then how about we take a look at your own personal life and just focus on that and make your environment better?
What about Elon Musk and Bill Gates? I could have swore they went to Flint, fixed all that water shit,
No, Elon Musk claimed he was going to commit, to
but he
like-
didn't.
I don't know. I never followed up. I just know that he made a big public statement. He was like, "Fine, I'll fix the water."
Well,
Check it out. Watch.
You washed your hands with them
What the fuck?
Of all that shit.
because it's true. Yeah, these are all major issues.
They're
issues.
major issues.
There's
that,
a lot everywhere, just piling up.
Yeah.
We were supposed to have a big, what do you call it? A border check or something? Not immigration. What do you call it?
trying
An
to say,
invasion. There's supposed to be some invasion that was supposed to happen.
Oh yeah,
Right?
from like the Central Americans and
Right?
How come we
Oh,
never?
shit.
How come we never put like tariffs and blocks when there's like music invasions? Like how
Music
much?
invasion?
How
the
much?
British invasion.
the
Why
British
didn't we block
invasion,
that out?
And then now we're dealing with the Canadian invasion, and pretty much most of the celebrities in music are Canadian.
I know
you know what
Bieber.
I mean?
Fuck
Not
you.
just Bieber, you know, the
Ryan
Weeknd,
Reynolds,
yeah,
the
Drake,
Weeknd.
you know.
like-
There's a lot. There's a lot. It's mostly Canadian.
The Weeknd's Canadian?
Mhm.
That dude?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
He's Canadian, eh?
Fuck, they're taking the black people too. Damn it.
Yeah.
Hey, they're living better over there. so-
I think they are. We actually talked about moving to Canada too.
Who did?
Our family.
Oh, really?
Really?
My mom, me, and my brother.
That's
This was during the possibility of a draft back when we were in college with Bush.
Was
Oh,
that-
like
Bush-
in Iraq and all
Yeah,
that.
Bush
shit.
was about to have a
is
draft.
that the
and all
place you would move to still if you had a choice?
I think I would rather move to Mexico, but they speak
Why would you want to go there?
because I like Latin girls. What? Damn, Joe. I like Latin women.
and you like Mexican women in particular?
Anybody south of the border, pretty much.
But the reality is that you're not going to live better in Mexico.
I don't think so. I
You
mean, yeah, maybe the dollar goes a little bit further, but
But
I hear it's
where are
very
you going to be generating that dollar from? Like,
in the drug market.
no.
I'll be a coyote, not a coyote. That's bad.
They
Wait, what's it called?
Shove cocaine in Keenan's ass and send him over to trips.
He's like, fuck it, I'll do it for the dollar.
I don't know.
Put all the cocaine's in my ass. I could fit a lot.
I haven't put anything in my ass. I don't know if I can do it, but maybe I don't know. I don't know.
Wait, you haven't put anything in your ass?
No, I haven't.
Man. Joe's like, oh man.
One of these days, I'm
You
gonna
gotta get
try
on
it.
that shit.
I'm gonna be in the shower and I'm just gonna like, well, let me see what this
Joe.
feels like.
Have you? Where
Like,
would you
ooh.
move, Joe? If you decided, you know what, it's not working here, where would you move? Because in particular, you know, LA rent prices and things are not getting any better, man. And it's
Yeah, but you just have to improve yourself. Like,
true.
you just have to improve yourself as
But
an
it eventually has to
individual.
come down because there's not a lot of people making a lot of money. So all the houses and towers and stuff being built in LA, somebody has to move into those.
There's going to be a huge crash like soon, but right now I think there's a bill that passed that puts rent control on all of the city of Los Angeles.
That's
Right,
kind of
county.
cool. Okay.
I think they can't raise your rent more than 5%,
Total.
and then that's it.
Unless you're a new renter, right? Because if you come in as a new renter, they can jack it up whatever.
I'm
It's
not
when you're
exactly
in
sure.
there, right?
I'll have to
Oh.
look into it.
Okay.
I know what they need to do is with all those luxury apartments that have been built, that's just people who have like overseas money that want to keep their money in America instead of at an offshore bank.
Oh, is that what that's about?
And so what they do is they build these properties that nobody can afford, and they know that, but that's because then they just get to keep their money there. They can always liquidate that.
I was wondering, why are they building so many places and not a lot of people are moving to LA?
In fact, the majority of the downtown real estate has been purchased by Asia.
You see the new building being built too. There's one on the construction. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Actually, I heard that a lot of the Asian markets are buying up land all over the U.S.
Which
Like-
would make sense.
I mean, we already owe them.
It's an internal invasion,
You think so?
and I'm for it.
I wish I kind of wanted to write a story or whatever it turns out to be where this was building on our deep conversation about what would really get the citizens of the U.S. to really fight together as
You
one.
guys had a deep conversation?
Yeah, it was super deep. We were sleeping together face to face.
Whoa.
We're laying, looking up at the ceiling,
yeah.
just like contemplating.
You're
life.
under,
Joe,
under
what
a
about
sheet
this?
with a flashlight?
Yeah. One of those flashlights that show stars.
We'd be giggling like, "Be quiet, my mom's gonna come in."
Mama.
Nothing, mom.
And then
Nothing, mommy.
a chancla hit you guys.
Like, just try us to sleep. Yes, mother.
Yeah.
No, but again, he's talking about the three of us.
Yeah.
Oh,
When
we
we were
that's
talking
right,
about
that's
like
right, that's
getting
right.
people together, rallying.
And
And
so I
how that'll
thought-
never happen.
And how they never happened. So I thought, what if there was a crazy cool story done in a good way, you know, like a Steven Spielberg kind of thing, where it's an invasion of the United States, but by every other country around it. So we lost our ties with Europe and all of our allies, and everybody outside the United States hates us and say, you know what, we're going to invade the United States and we're going to split it up to whatever territories we feel like. And the whole story, you know, shows the chronological order of how that came to be and people fighting back and, you know, what it would look like. And here, if we all of a sudden started hearing bombs falling and like planes flying over, like how crazy would just an average person feel like or do or anything like?
America hasn't
I
seen
don't
that
know.
kind of action in
It's
years.
We
weird
never
to
have.
think
That's why I
that-
wanted to make a story about that.
Yeah, it's weird to think that we know that a lot of those things happen like in history,
Mhm.
but
It's always been
it's
America. that did it.
unfathomable to think that it would happen in this country. Like
Uh-huh.
a story like Red Dawn.
Yeah.
Like we would.
also because,
it's
I mean-
very unlikely that we would see something like that ever.
People
Yeah.
think that it's like that movies are our main export, but America's main export has always been war.
War for
Mhm.
sure.
Guns.
But
war.
look, the only way that we can that something like this would possibly happen,
an alien invasion.
no, is if like Canada and Mexico decided, fuck it, we're gonna try to invade.
Do you,
But
do you think they'd even have a chance?
That would never
No.
happen.
It would
never
have to
happen.
be, I think.
No other country that we don't consider an ally
Huh?
would ever be able to even get close to us.
Right. We're watching them like
only
mad
way
crazy.
that
Has to be our own
someone's gonna
allies.
damage us is if it's like a terrorist attack or, you know, an individual or like a splinter cell or someone that's already here
Hail
does
Hydra.
something.
Yeah.
You know, exactly. Something like that.
Yeah.
But other than that, no foreign power is ever going to.
Because we love war too much. We're going to be
basically say, because we're America.
No, it's just it'd be incredibly hard for for foreign power to get to us.
I think specifically
just by
because
ocean wise.
I think specifically because foreign powers also have a lot of money invested in America.
Well, that's one way to get under us is to put money to make us think that we're growing rich when in reality we're just getting bought out. I mean, not like it's a possibility, but we have to have an attack on all fronts.
Yes.
Everything, financially, physically, mentally, and who knows if that's already happening or not.
Sexually, I mean, I know.
Sexually, that's right.
We're just gonna weed them all out. We're all gonna become mixed.
That's how they killed all the Native Americans.
And the white people.
See, they learned.
White people don't know what's coming. They're gonna have mixed babies, all of them.
Oh God, my baby likes tacos more than me.
Oh, my baby.
So you wanted to talk about before 2020 happened, but since we're in 2020 now, about what are some of the resolutions you want to try and keep or not have resolutions, right? Wasn't it something about that?
I think we mentioned resolutions,
have
but
resolutions.
You can't have resolutions.
I won't. I can't.
So there's nothing that
commit to them.
there's nothing that you would at least like to do. Like, oh, I would like to at least this year earn $100,000.
Well, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna be like,
Motherfucker, this little cool shit. All right, over here. You know what?
What?
Can we get something from you, Philly? Joe's already on one. Like he's on his high game, never coming down from his mountaintop.
He said, if I'm gonna do it, player.
I'm reaching out, but you're too far from me. Like,
oh my God.
Joe's like
bro,
Scar.
I'm putting my hand out.
Joe's like Scar and Lion King.
And I'm like 2 feet away from him. What are you talking about, Joe?
And then I just close my hand, like.
I'm like touching the edge of his hand. He's like, I can't.
You're like, you're too far. You're like, I'm literally touching your hand.
It's like, brother.
Yeah. And then I look behind me and say, oh, I can build my own mountain. All right.
Yeah. Man.
And you're like 1 foot away from the ground. I know. Like, God damn it, Keenan. Help me. Bro, you're
just
literally
jump.
a foot from the ground.
You're on your tippy toes. Just put your feet down.
Have you noticed how like certain places charge more for gas for absolutely no fucking reason?
It'll
be like $1 more for no reason.
Because it's
location,
yeah.
Location.
They're like, these people have more money, so we're gonna charge them
sure.
more.
Yeah. Or because if you go out into like the fucking desert, super cheap.
It's just ironic because then it's
Not
like
super cheap.
most people who travel to nice places are people who live in places where the gas is cheap. But they more than likely are going to load up on gas in the expensive places. It's like I've been studying a lot about how economies work, and we really like. I truly understand what they mean by shop locally now. It's spending money in your neighborhood is definitely key. And not just for a pedestrian, right? But also the businesses themselves.
See, that's why I fuck with K-Town, because like we invest in our community, like.
Yeah.
We shop locally. We everything.
Did you do that when you used to live in East LA?
Nope.
Nope.
I would commute out of East LA.
That's the problem. That's what it's good that you're talking about, Philly, but the real issue is how does the community, especially of Black and Latin, get their own people to invest in their own?
I mean, it starts with education for sure. And I don't mean like books and fucking high school diplomas. I'm talking about like manners and how to treat, because
manners is a big one,
because gangs are fucking prevalent still, and it's a fear-based economy, man.
But here's the thing, like I live in K-Town, but K-Town is a cornucopia of cultures. Just because I live in K-Town doesn't mean like that Koreans run all of K-Town. It isn't. Like I live in a community that has Black people, white people, Asians, Latinos. Like it's
literally live in the middle of LA.
I live like even my building. It's my building alone. I have like one of my neighbors is Russian, another one is Asian.
It's like Joe saying I have Black friends.
No, but no. What I'm saying is like you're saying, oh, because I didn't invest in the community when I lived in East LA. Yeah, because when I lived in East LA, I only slept there. Everything else that I did was outside of East LA.
Yeah, why didn't, when you come home, like go to the restaurant down the street? Or
I would.
So that's investing in the that's investing in neighborhood.
But what I'm saying is when I'm talking about investing, I'm talking about like
businesses.
Yes.
Like what? Like a cash and savings loan kind of thing, or
no?
a
Fuck
McDonald's,
cash and savings loans.
a Starbucks.
No.
What kind of business are we talking about?
No, because you said you were saying like why didn't I invest in East LA?
Yeah.
But
because you said you invested in K-Town.
But it isn't necessarily a. Well, no, maybe I'm reading wrong.
Let me rephrase it. When you said I invest in K-Town, because I thought I'm trying to add on to Philly in a sense of why don't we invest in our own community, blacks and Latinos? As a Latino,
see, okay, you're making it about race. I don't care about race.
That's what it was about.
No, but I don't care about race. What I'm telling you is I don't care about. That's why, because you're expecting me because I lived in East LA that I had to invest in that community.
Isn't that what the conversation was about?
Sort of. I mean, I was just saying, why is it that at a local level we don't circulate the money a few times before we let it leave? Instead, we'll go, which I understand.
Yeah, it was more of an economic thing, not a race thing. I
swore you said it was something.
I was just talking about money circulating, and while it is true, true that one of the strongest examples, let's say, is like the Jewish community, right, where they set aside.
See, that's bringing it racially now
to some degree, right? But it's a religion more than it is a race.
I thought it's a race.
No, to be Israeli would be a race.
What
you know what I mean? Jewish is a religion. Jewish is a religion.
Being Jewish is a religion. It's not a race.
Okay, I was told that it was a race.
Who told you this?
I will introduce you to them. Fine.
That is
because I said it was a religion too. I kid you not. But then someone said no, it's not a race.
No.
I'm from blah blah blah.
Suffice it to say, without getting too far from the point, essentially, I was just saying a lot. It's fascinating how. Because my ultimate goal is to find a way to create some simplicity. Like part of the thing is that people are afraid of moving away from LA, let's say, because LA has everything you need, right? And nobody wants to move to, I don't know, Louisville, Kentucky. They might be popping.
I know some people in Louisville. So.
I'm not talking shit. Or let's say somewhere in Ohio, right? Whatever it may be, they're afraid to move out that way because there's nothing to do there, right? But that's why I think it's imperative that we begin to study and learn about how economies work at a basic level. Why is it that people with money that's pulled together can suddenly gentrify an entire neighborhood? Well, for starters, because they understand how to generate an economy. An economy is simply a group of people who came together with their money to decide what shops are going to be open and then committed to making sure they circulated the money within there. That's at a fundamental basic level. That's what that is. And then from there, you take some basic business fundamentals and make sure that supply and demand is at work and that people get the shit they need so they don't have to leave. Like, there's food for less, but everybody wants to shop at Trader Joe's, right?
Yeah.
So if you find a way to then carry in your liquor store or in your mini mart some of those organic items, like there is one place, like for example in Highland Park called I think it's like Tropicana 62 or something like that. It's a little store, kind of like a New York bodega where they carry all those items. So you don't. It's a little expensive, granted, like it's like $1 more, $2 more. But if you think about it, you get to circulate the money in there and it continues to improve the economy. People are like, I don't know who the fuck they are. They don't matter to me. Well, that's how it starts. Get to know them. Mm-hmm. Like there is no education, and that's why there's no incentive to get to know your community and the business owners. Everyone in a community in the neighborhood should get to know the actual owners of the business, because that's how you keep things real. The minute you allow corporations to step in where you don't even know who the fucking business owner is, that's when they start taking advantage of shit. And that's where they start doing things that is removed from the community and they don't understand how they're affecting a community. Right? But if you can meet the business owners, you can influence and help them understand what the community needs. And
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I got to say that's one of the reasons why I'm kind of grateful that I'm part of TSG, because that has allowed me to meet a lot of people within the community that actually own businesses, that actually work, locally. So it's allowed me to kind of get even deeper into our community, into my community.
In Koreatown.
Yeah, in K-Town.
Like people who own restaurants.
Yes, exactly.
Which is dope because they have a say in what's going to be put up and brought up and things like that. Like I speak to the guy who owns the liquor store by where I live. They have local chamber of commerce meetings with all the small businesses every so often. They're like they have to determine whether there should be a gym that should be built or a new bar. That's how they get the bar license and shit like that. Like it's important that we take that into our own hands, because that's how we begin to influence. Like fuck a voting thing, especially when it comes to at a federal level. Like you have little, if any, say. I mean, if you don't vote, who knows, right? But I know a for sure way to make sure you influence the way your neighborhood looks, the way it feels, the level of safety, and all those things is for a tighter knit community that understands both the economics and the business happenings of that neighborhood. For a fact. Mm-hmm. For a fact. And yet in these days we really don't. I mean, you take extra care to know your neighbors, but most people don't. Most people don't. And that is the very thing that is making us sad every day, full of anxiety, because you're constantly surrounded by shit that you don't even know whether it's a threat or not, because you never take the time to go and neutralize the threat by engaging with the community. Like these are the very things that affect your life. Everywhere you go every day, how can you live somewhere for so many years and still don't know who the fuck that person's name is who owns this little shop here? Do yourself a favor and get to know the people near you. Do yourself a favor, because then that'll cause them and inspire them to want to go around and get to know other people too. And that's slowly how you begin to change and influence things that are happening.
Nice.
Yeah.
On the
I gotta
show
say,
with his soapbox.
I gotta say, like a lot of people have issues with gentrification because they call it. That's what you call it. Like when you're against it.
Right.
I have no problem with gentrification.
No, neither do I.
Because it's bettered the community.
It's
yes,
safe. Yeah,
things might get a little
safer.
more expensive, but the community's better. I haven't had my car broken into in ages.
Yeah.
I haven't had a little gang member come up to me try to tell me where I'm from. Like this, I'm here. This is my community. What do you do for this community?
Yeah.
Shit, get the fuck out.
Tag on the wall.
Like actually,
a truck that we
yesterday I saw this dude like tagging up my wall, and I was like I couldn't believe it. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I went up to the dude. I was like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Get the fuck out of here. And he got all scared. He's like, oh, he got on his little bike. I'm like,
how old was he? Was he a kid?
Bitch ass. Nah, he must have been like 18, 19.
Damn, what
he was an adult.
Yeah.
Do they strap themselves? Like if they pulled something out?
Who knows, man? But it's true. Like that's the worst part about it is those people come from poverty.
I told him, I was like, yo, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Get the fuck out of here. And he got scared and he ran.
I really don't understand how there are still like little gangs and like they still have them doing those. Like I know there's drug money and shit like that, but I don't understand how with all the access to information online, kids still don't see how there are more of them than there are of the OGs who are running this shit. And I'm not trying to like start a war against gangs. What I'm saying is, can the OGs begin to see how it's no longer even necessary to because it originally started because there was a need for Chicanos to organize and to establish a form of like, don't kill us anymore or send us off to war and shit like that. So there was just like the Black Panther Party, there was a need to start a coalition against a movement that was clearly creating genocide. But in this modern day and age of things have moved forward, it's funny because as I speak these words, I can hear how they may fall on deaf ears of kids who are just worried about whether or not their own stepdad's going to beat their ass because their stepdad's also drunk and fucking who comes from the same pain. Like broken people break people, man. And it sucks that I can't believe with all the access we have to all the shit that we have today, people are still there. They're still getting turns at parties and like not realizing that if they start young, they can do so much to help their parents, like all the shit that they want to do. But instead they're run by fear because their peers are also involved in that shit. And it's like, it just breaks my heart to know that some kids will never have a chance, even if they don't want to do that shit, simply because of circumstance where they were born.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yep.
Really sucks. Because, shit, I grew up in East LA when I moved out there with you guys, and there was plenty of people trying to pressure me to get involved in all that shit, trying to hit me with cars, but I never gave into it. And it's just weird to me that, people will give into it. People would rather give into it than die for what they believe in. But then they call themselves brave when they go out there as followers of something they were pressured into. and then they go and they beat up on people together in groups. But it takes real courage to stand alone, stand for what you believe in.
I'm surprised that shit still even exists.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
haven't even seen it in like
That's what I'm saying.
forever. That's why I was so surprised that somebody was like tagging the wall at my building. I was like, "The fuck is this? 2006?"
Because rap music has changed dramatically from that time too. Where it used to promote a lot of that shit. If Corrupt ever gave a fuck about a bitch, I'd always be broke. And like that music, which was dope for the time, it really was. I listened to that shit. I bumped it. And everything has changed so much. But yet there are still those people who probably still only listen to those songs and still believe that world exists. It's like people who still only listen to Tupac. I'm not saying he wasn't one of the greatest rappers that ever lived. He was. And there was a lot of songs that were empowering. But the songs that people play of his, generally speaking, aren't the empowering ones.
Yeah, they're the foolish ones. For sure, 100%.
You know what I mean? 100%.
100%.
Joe's been saying. Joe's just been saying that.
I've been saying 100% for like whenever I agree with something. I noticed it like 2 episodes ago.
Watch later today, asking for something later, like we all forget.
Yeah.
I'll be like 100%.
Yeah, something that I'll agree with. I've noticed.
I honestly don't even know how I went off on a tangent for that shit.
Because you normally do. That's who you are, Philly.
I just feel like they're valid points, though.
Yeah. Well, they're always valid points.
100%.
But you know what? People are likely driving in traffic right now, and the last thing they need is to be depressed over some shit like that, right?
But that's the thing. Like, we've changed. Like, for the most part,
they need those.
I like to
Philly
think
chimes.
that, but I think for the most part, I'd like to think that we've stepped away from that in general.
As people,
yes, we might not be like incredibly active within our communities, but I think the city of LA, for the most part, has become a safer place.
Well, we got more homeless now. I think people are more concerned about that.
More about homeless than we are about gangs.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
the homeless out here are pretty aggressive,
and they're setting up camp pretty much anywhere now. I thought it was illegal to
Vermont
be
and
camped out
Beverly. There's like right.
They put up a border, didn't they?
Yeah. So in Vermont and Beverly, if you go down Beverly East, there's one block right after you hit Vermont, right, heading east. Behind there, yeah. So across the street from the bank, northeast, right?
Yeah.
There's like a whole fucking village community. Like as you're jumping onto the 101 South,
yeah.
The same thing.
See it all.
Same thing in Van Ness behind some warehouse. They call it Tent City.
Yeah,
you can see it all.
And then I was driving through Eagle Rock on my way over into Glendale for something, and under one of the freeway underpasses, only in here, but you never see it anywhere else.
Yeah,
there was a shitload of cops that came and they moved everybody out from under the freeway overpass.
They'll do that. Yep.
But they wouldn't do it over there on Vermont in Beverly or fucking in Reseda.
I have yet to see how bad it is in like Beverly Hills or Pacific Palisades or something like that.
It's crazy that there's a law protecting homeless people.
No, they should just put them all on a boat and just ship them out, man.
Send them to a fucking island.
And then
they're ruining our communities.
Make it into a reality TV show.
Shit.
I know it's evil. I have nothing. I have nothing
really
humane.
We have too many people on this planet anyway. We should start messing around with
people
everybody.
who will listen to this podcast episode will realize that I have nothing humane to say about.
I think it's about time we have a battle royale.
Oh,
let's.
But they can't use
gather
weapons.
all of them.
And then oh my god,
I
can't believe I'm about to say this.
To bum
and
fights?
then whichever homeless person survives the whole thing, they get an all expenses paid trip. That then, as they're flying over, also blows up.
Oh, what the fuck? Fucking Hunger Games shit. That's wild.
I know.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
It's
We're getting
up,
close. We're getting close.
I know you got Temptation Island
Next
and all this
20
other
years,
weird stuff.
I'm sure we'll be seeing fighting bums somewhere.
I mean, we did have bun fights back in the 90s.
Yeah, but that wasn't helping anyone.
No, it wasn't the same.
I'm sorry. I really, I just can't think of anything, man.
To do with the homelessness. I mean, there's homelessness in the rest of the world too. Anything that happens and that we talk about here, including gangs, happens everywhere else on this planet. For history, I mean, Romans had fucking gangs and homeless people.
Do you think a majority of them just don't want to help themselves? I'm sure there are exceptions and like people who like wish they could get out of that shit, and they're like, I don't want to be here, because there's documentaries about how people end up living in fucking like those moving cars that those they're kind of like what are they called?
Mobile homes?
Bigelows, yeah, mobile homes and shit like that, right? Like,
Yeah.
I get it. It's hard,
Bro, my block at work
Hey, you're telling me about
yeah.
it.
You were talking
is
about that,
nothing but RVs.
right? And
Nothing
and
but
I think
RVs.
and I think it's because most people just don't have marketable skills.
I don't know. I thought that was illegal to do that. Like you couldn't park,
It might
but
be.
yet you're getting away with it.
It might be.
Same thing in when I used to work in Sun Valley. Is it just a whole
It just trips me
line of
out
them?
because you can literally fucking learn anything on YouTube. Anything.
So I don't
Everyone
know.
has access to fucking data plans now. The
I don't-
government has made sure of that.
I think it's more not the education, but the mindset. I don't think it's anything that they need to learn a skill.
Like they don't want to be
do.
helped.
Yeah, I think
Not
some
they don't want to be
people-
helped, but they don't even want to. They
don't
don't.
want
They
to do the
don't
work.
want to do. Yeah, there's, a fucking McDonald's that had a help wanted sign for like cleaning toilets or some shit, and there's homeless people, out in front of that where you can. I don't know what McDonald's standards are, but I'm pretty sure you don't need a high grade education to wash toilets.
Right. Well, I don't know. Actually, it's kind of hard to get. McDonald's turned me down once.
They did.
I was
He was overqualified.
I was overqualified.
I know what that's like.
That's crazy to me. I had just finished being a store manager for a fine jewelry store, and I had only had like 6 months of experience, but I was making like $2,400 a month, the whole shebang. But then I got laid off, so I started looking for work, and I went to one of the first things I did, I was like, fuck it, I'll go to McDonald's. I was like, I'm not proud, man. I'll fucking get a job. I need money.
Mm-hmm.
And then okay.
I'm just giving you a timer so you don't go on a full
Fuck you, Keenan.
so you don't
So
go on a
continue.
tangent.
I was just gonna say before your bitch ass made a timer for me, that I went in, I applied, and then they were like, "Oh wait, you were a store manager?" I was like, "Yeah,"
Person that you-
and they were like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man, we're not gonna be able to hire you." I was like, "Why?" Well, I'm technically overqualified. We just need somebody to run the cashier. I was like, "Yeah, I'm down." Like,
So you're willing to get paid $5 an hour?
It's because
Yeah.
it's because they were like, oh, this is a threat to my job.
because you can leave, or you can quit. Anybody who's overqualified can easily find another job somewhere else and quit, and now they have to go through the whole process. They
Right.
need somebody.
No,
stupid.
I think it's more of intimidation. A person hires you, they see that you have managerial experience, that you've run companies before. They're
And
like,
I was
oh,
more
shit.
handsome.
I have
You
to
know, it's-
hugely disagree on that because I've
wow,
I've
he just
spoken-
straight up said on the podcast. he
No, I'm
disagrees with
saying I can do that. This is me
Fine. Yeah.
being open. Fuck.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes,
Tell me
I
why.
disagree because the people that I've met who are in those hiring positions don't want somebody who they told me they don't want somebody who can easily leave the company for something else. They'll get bored too quick. They won't like their job and they'll bounce somewhere else, which has happened before in many of these companies.
Is that what they
Yeah,
told
but
you?
you also told
that
me
what
that.
they told you?
Yeah, you also told us that.
but I
that
wasn't. I
these-
wasn't trying to hire them. They're a friend of a friend. I know them.
Yeah, but they also told you that Jews are a race and not a religion. So
Those are not the
Not
same
gonna
people. Fuck you. I'll save that. I will go back to these people and I will ask
What do you
them.
mean these people? Keenan?
what do you mean these people? What, Keenan? Wow, wow.
Keenan is so tongue in cheek right now.
Wow, wow.
Okay. If Joko's missing, you have it recorded on this podcast that I am fully involved in his missing.
This is how ridiculous I was.
Yeah.
I then shortly followed
Petty.
that up by going to this. There was like a diner on Hollywood and like Vine, right? I forget what the name of the place was, but it's right next to like where the Metro Hollywood and Vine exit is.
Okay.
There's like a little diner there, and I was like, oh, they have a hiring now sign, right now hiring sign. I was like, help wanted, whatever. I walk in and I'm like, hey, you guys are hiring? I was like, fuck it, I want to be an actor. Maybe I'll do waiting tables, right? And I go in there, and prior to that, I had done my research on the restaurant and like what it was about, how much they made annually, how every role affects, the revenue of the company. And I went in and like I was like breaking this down in the meeting. As the guy was like, "Do you have any questions for me?" I was like, I do actually. I brought out my paperwork and I started showing. He was like, "Hey man, look, we just need somebody who can wait tables, man. I don't think this is for you." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "What?" I was like, "I want to. I'm just trying to show you that I understand the value that a waiter brings to waiting the tables." And he was like, "Yeah, bro, I don't think this is a role for you. You might have to look for work somewhere else." I was like, "What the fuck, man? I thought I did
Came
all
in
this
too
prep."
over prepared.
Yeah. That's the story of my fucking life.
Story of your
man.
life, filthy.
The kid is like, he gives no fucks right now. He's still mad about what happened earlier.
Meanwhile, I could go anywhere and get a job wherever I want
Are you
at
still
any
there?
time, ever.
Kid just gave me death eyes.
I swear to God, you're gonna go up missing. You're being a fucking.
You can try. You can try.
Oh, I
On the
know.
10
I know where to take you.
news.
I know where to take you.
No, I'm saying you could try to get me, but you're not gonna get me. I'm
Okay.
always ready. I stay ready.
Damn.
Stay ready. You ain't got to get ready,
Are you
player.
doing like a Gatorade commercial? Like, what the fuck?
Come see me. You know where I live.
Oh god.
Was there ever a job you guys wanted that you got turned down for?
Yes.
Never. Oh, go ahead.
Fuck you, Joe.
What? What?
That's only because Joe only goes after
Keenan.
jobs he knows he already has.
You
Oh, it's okay.
you said no to SpaceX because you didn't want to do a night shift.
Whoa,
I
whoa,
did
my
not-
God, don't be
I
throwing his
did-
business out there like that.
Oh, whatever.
Well, but what would happen if you would have gotten SpaceX? You're taking a picture of me,
No,
bitch.
What's going on, Keenan? What are you doing?
So you're saying there is a job that you wanted that you didn't get.
Yeah.
You want to divulge that information?
Keenan has had enough of this podcast today. He's had enough for one day.
I wanted to work at kinks.com.
Okay.
Kinks?
Yeah, it's you remember it was the porn spot in San Francisco where they do the dungeon stuff?
I didn't know, but okay.
Yeah.
One
Well,
of my
I
employees
wanted-
up there.
I
used
wanted
to
the
work there.
job because they paid really well and I needed it because I was in college and
yeah.
stuff. So I was like, wait, is that the type of question we're asking?
Yeah.
'Cause I gotta
like,
make sure I
did you
understand.
ever go after a job that you were like, man, this would be great if it worked, and then it didn't?
Yes, but it's not something I really, really wanted. And
Right.
I went to work for like NASA or some shit
Right,
like that.
right.
But if we're talking just on the,
Which you've also applied to.
yes, but if we're talking on the basis of the
Just an everyday job.
literal
yeah.
meaning of your statement and words, so we don't get confused in the question that's being asked here.
Pretty
On
straightforward.
the night in
Okay.
question, per se, Your Honor.
It's pretty straightforward, my guy. Did you
Don't
ever
read into
apply
it
for a
too much,
job that you
Keenan.
didn't
I
get?
got to make sure.
It's nothing worse than somebody who looks into something to see something that isn't there. You know what I mean? I basically just said you're an asshole.
Okay, so continue.
Anyway,
I think you've told me this.
I have.
Well, yeah, you have.
but there was plenty of other jobs. I mean, that's probably the reason why Joe gets every job, because it probably doesn't apply to that many. I applied to hundreds of jobs, and there's a lot of those I really wanted to have and didn't get. Joe only probably applied to 2 or 3. I mean, who knows?
His whole life.
His educational level doesn't really get him a certain status in police jobs.
Yeah,
so
weird because
yeah.
I make more money.
Oh, whatever.
so
Fuck
it's
you.
just weird.
now you do. After like 10 years at one
Oh
spot,
my
I could do that too.
God, Dick
No, I've been there
swingers.
10 years.
No, you
Oh,
haven't been there 10
I
years.
haven't.
8?
No,
You've been there since 2011.
12.
8 years.
Oh, yeah.
Homie.
Hey. All right.
Dick.
Let's leave the
Dude,
mothers out
I
of
went-
this. Okay.
Oh, look at you.
Wow. Japanese shirt.
Nice
Whoa.
clean shirt.
Is
Oh.
it?
Keenan, you don't have chest hair,
It is a
Keenan?
Japanese shirt. What?
You don't have chest hair, Keenan?
No, I don't
Ladies
have.
and gentlemen, Keenan does not have chest
I
hair.
have no chest hair. I have
He has ass and dick hair, though.
yeah. I don't have ass hair.
Yeah.
You don't have ass hair?
I don't have ass hair.
Show me. Prove it.
Joe,
I want
I'll
to
do
see
it.
it.
I'll do
it. No,
I wanna
I
see
don't
it.
want to see this. No, ladies and gentlemen,
wanna see.
for the record, I don't. Oh God,
Hold on.
no.
Come on.
No, oh wait.
Show
got you.
me.
No, you can see my ass. You can see my ass on the new posting of our TV show skit.
Yeah.
At the very end, there's a picture of my butt. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Wait, show me.
No.
Show me your
No.
fucking ass.
No.
Little
Whoa,
bitch.
Joe's got some rapey
I said,
vibes.
I know I said no
Ooh,
3
so-
times. I didn't give you consent, and you still push forward. Okay,
Hey.
that's kind of
It's
person
locker
you
room
are.
talk.
Open legs
Whatever.
without an invitation doesn't mean consent.
What?
It's true.
Anyway,
So jobs.
SpaceX was a machine job, a machinist job from like 12 midnight to 4 in the morning, 5 days a week. When you start doing it, Joe, I'll see how well you like that job. Not a lot of people can handle that kind of hours of work or intensity work.
5 hours of work?
It was like 6.
But you said 12 to 4.
Whatever number it was a graveyard shift. All right. Now there are people out there who do graveyard shifts for other companies and businesses. I'm not one of those people.
Well,
All right.
You don't know that you couldn't have moved up or
Respect
changed.
me.
Whoa. You kind of get
that
respect by
got
giving
really
respect.
serious. Like, the fuck? Like,
Well-
yo, I'll respect you when you start respecting yourself.
I do respect myself. Fuck you.
I
Fuck
do
you.
respect you though. I love you.
I wonder if anybody like while they're listening to this pulls over on the freeway just to like be like, damn, they're
That's
fucking
hilarious.
savage.
That would be a great skit. I like that.
If we've ever caused you to pull over from the savageness of this podcast, please send us a video letting us know
If we've ever
on Instagram.
had you have to turn down your if you're listening to this on speakers and you've had to turn it down, please let us know.
Ooh, shit.
I know there are a couple people who have let me know. They're like, hey, yo, this shit was crazy. I had to turn this shit down.
Send us a video via Instagram that we can save where you're like, yo, the new podcast is so fucking crazy. I had to turn that shit down.
Hey guys, we're on TikTok as well. We kind of just started.
We post the nastiest stuff.
We
that
just
do there.
started on TikTok. We're gonna for the 2020. It's None of Our Business podcast. Right.
If you're on TikTok, bring that ass
if
over.
you're on TikTok, find us.
Mm.
We're gonna start posting
Keenan promises to show his no hair ass on there too.
and his little dick.
Well, I mean, I guess.
I mean,
I don't know that.
have you ever seen it?
No, but
You haven't either.
I haven't.
But you know, he's
I think.
I'm sure you guys have seen my dick.
No. Philly
no,
saw your
It
dick.
almost happened, but when you were pissing in the fridge that night that you came home drunk, I just turned away and I was like, "You son of a
But
bitch!"
you saw
'cause
Philly's
I knew I
dick.
had to clean it.
I've seen Philly's
Yeah.
asshole
He's
Well,
seen my
but his
butthole.
dick is
and
next to his
balls,
asshole, right?
Yeah,
I've
he,
seen
he saw he
his
saw the
balls.
whole.
Like you saw the
I
bottom
saw the whole
shaft
enchilada,
where like
like-
bunches up and it looks
I
like
saw him churning. I saw him
it
churning.
looks like a walnut.
I saw him churning the butter. He was just like, you know, like when when the camera guy, like when
Doing the back ass shot.
yeah, when he's doing the back ass shot, and he's and the guy's drilling the girl. Like that was the view
Oh my
that you got. Like
God.
bam, bam,
Damn, that's weird. I don't think I can.
He was just like, bah, 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 bah.
Did you have like the
Tip
legs
drip,
like
let me
holding
see a
like
drip,
this, or were
drip.
the legs over like this?
That's one of my favorite things to do is put the legs
over the shoulders
over the
or
shoulders.
spread out over here.
Over the shoulders.
shoulders. Yeah,
He was
that's a
just
good
like,
feeling.
That's one of my favorite things.
And then they
But-
squeeze and they
but
tighten.
I don't go
it.
straight into it. I think that night because I was drunk. I mean, who knows? But that's never something I go straight into. That's not comfortable for girls. You got to warm them
Not
up
at
to
all.
that.
Yeah,
You got to warm them up to that.
You got to stretch him out a little bit.
I'm really a lover. Like I'm a sensual lover. I'm not one of those. No, I can get
Your-
there,
Your
but
pass out experience says otherwise.
I really like to take my time with it. You know, I want to make sure the river is flowing before you get.
How
that
long
kind
do
of-
you do foreplay for?
As long as you need to.
Yep.
Okay, so you would do foreplay for like 30 minutes?
As long as
If
it. As long as
necessary.
you
Okay,
need to.
answer the question, Joe. What's the longest you've done
Wow,
foreplay?
Keenan,
Hours.
Okay,
Like,
great. That's
yeah.
what I'm asking for.
Take it
God
easy,
damn
man.
it, man.
Jeez,
Why are you
what
being
the
so
fuck is wrong with you?
nonchalant and like hidden and shit? Give me messages and
Keenan's
codes
like,
and not
I
full
want to
text.
know because
Give
if
me-
we do something,
Give me a
I
yes
need
or
to
no.
know.
Like, fuck.
That was
How
as
long?
as
Nah,
long as you need
whatever.
to, because women vary.
Yeah, so what's the shortest foreplay?
I don't know.
See, that's what I'm. God damn it. Philly.
Sometimes there isn't foreplay.
Yeah, sometimes.
like a
Well, if it's a
quick,
quickie,
like, get
if
your-
it's a quickie,
get your whistle wet real fast. Make sure that you put a little bit of spit on that. And
Is
get,
that what you do? Smack it like that?
get it going. Start the drum circle. Whoa.
Oh my god.
You guys.
I can totally see Joe doing that. And she's like, what the fuck?
Oh, people are driving.
Just
in their
squirts right in his
cars
face.
now.
Squirts.
Like that did it for you?
Did you ever have a
So?
squirter?
No.
No.
I didn't.
Unless
know,
I wasn't good enough to know how to do it.
I didn't know I did, but then I got a video and then I realized, oh, I didn't know that was one of your abilities, your capability.
Wait, they showed you a video of what they could do?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, Keenan.
As no one ever said.
Oh, Keenan.
Keenan, look, I didn't bring it up for that reason. I
Oh
was
my
just-
god. So
Why are you so heated right now, man?
my life, new 2020 thing. I was gonna say this for my soapbox, but I'll probably just say it now. I did witness something that made me like revamp my mentality on women.
Really?
On like not being not jealous or angry, but like, so like, why does he get it, not me kind of thing? Because I witnessed two people. One was in a wheelchair. The other one had like pretty much all of his limbs missing, stuff like that. And they both had ridiculously amazing hot girlfriends that are with them to the end, ride or die. And one dude proposed, the guy in the wheelchair proposed to his girl that was like pulling him along everywhere. And it was like,
He was like, and I'm still single.
There shouldn't be a reason for me to be
Nah, man.
like seeing that, witnessing
there are
that.
good girls out
Yeah.
there, man. There are good partners for both men and women. Like there are good people out there.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let. Well, I will say a majority of people, even if they care about the people they're with, sometimes. I read something today that truly, truly hit home for me. The body has needs, that's for sure. It's when the mind has a need that you have to be careful.
Well, I mean, it was just the idea that she's going to be pushing this guy in a wheelchair for the rest of their lives, getting married, or however long that span of marriage lasts. But I want somebody who has that same mentality that's willing to push me in my wheelchair.
You want that ride or die.
Yeah.
Why don't you get into an accident and get in a wheelchair?
Oh
See
my
what
God,
happens, bro.
no.
Maybe get yourself a nice little wheelchair pusher.
I honestly believe that life
Is that like a dating app for that?
I like to believe, no matter how bad it gets, that life is actually more fair than people give it credit for. Like I could be upset about so many things that happened in my life, but the truth is there are so many other things that are so fucking badass in my life. Like,
Name one.
I'm not tooting my own horn, but I somehow have the capacity to do a lot of shit. I've been given a capacity to truly be a person that excels. And even though I don't have a lot of other things that I wish I did, like my parents in my life or shit like that, like for me, I can't look at that and then decide that that's bad, because those very things that I don't have were the things that propelled me to be the type of person that I am. And I'm beginning to shift the way I see things that happen in my life that are problems, right? Sometimes, oddly enough, those it's like the Stoic philosophy by Marcus Aurelius, right? The obstacle is the way. You'd be surprised at what stands before you that seems to stand and challenge you and say, no, this is not for you, or face me. Those kind of shits. Without that, you wouldn't rise to the occasion.
I face obstacles every single day. Like, no, but
that's exactly what he would do to me.
No, yeah, but
wait, what?
I would. But listen, I know what you didn't let me finish what I was gonna say.
Oh, fuck you.
I face obstacles every single day, but I also fucking murder those obstacles. Like anything that gets in my way,
You'll find a way.
So the local police should know and listen to this podcast. Joe has murdered obstacles.
I kill him.
And oddly enough, I used to really get bent out of shape. Like relatively recently, I would get bent out of shape over fucking everything, man. But at some point, I got so tired of so many things bending me out of shape that I was like, fuck, I'm just tired of this shit. And I started looking at that shit and saying like, okay, if this is how it's going to be, let's go. Okay. I've got to rise to the occasion, dig deep, and find within me the skills, the ability, the courage to overcome this. Whether it's understanding that being alone is actually an advantage, because it gives you time to realize that while the body does have needs, when the people aren't around you, when the stimulus is not around you to spark a bodily reaction, your mind begins to go crazy and crave this person, right? But that when the mind has a need, you can never satisfy it. Think about it. If you eat food, right after that, you might be full, but you're like, shit, I could go for another fucking slice, right? Because the mind cannot be satisfied, but the body can.
Did you do that? Did
What?
you eat pizza?
No, so far I haven't. Keenan's like, No, so thankfully, so far I haven't, but it's only the beginning of the fucking year, so.
And kombucha, right?
Well,
It's pizza.
I didn't say I was
kombucha.
going to give up kombucha. What the fuck?
I thought that was well, whatever. Fine.
You know,
Damn,
I'm a
that
hipster.
kombucha
Come
got
on,
you.
man.
I know. I can see the whatever you call those things on your arm.
Oh, no, yeah, these are
Little
bracelets.
bracelets.
Yeah.
Bracelets? Is
Yeah.
that the word you're looking for?
Yeah,
Jimmy?
bracelets.
Fucking
Yeah, you can't get me, Joe. I'll take my stupidity in stride.
I'll
take
I'll
it
own
and
it. Try.
I'm gonna be the
I'm
Joe.
proud of it.
I'm gonna be Joe this year. I'm gonna own
Hey,
myself.
yes, that's the way you should
There
live.
it is.
Fuck you,
Absolutely. That's right. Go ahead.
That's right.
And
I haven't had sex and I'm stupid.
Whoa.
Hey,
And-
wait, what?
And that's
What?
one of the things that
That's not
I
me.
think is most fascinating about being a creative that most people seem to ignore as an advantage, right? Is in particular in entertainment. Because when you
I just recap. Calm myself.
What the fuck you just said?
All the things you just
I'm
said.
stupid and having sex. Like, how's that Joe? My bad.
It's all good. It's all good, buddy. It's okay.
It just reoccurred in my head.
But to speak to the
You're working an impulse, and that is me.
to speak to what just happened, right? For example, I myself constantly get thrown off kilter whenever I become upset about shit because I don't do well with upsets because I haven't taken the time to face what I'm like when I'm upset. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
This is why being alone is so powerful for people who are serial monogamists or constantly in some form of a relationship is you never get the chance to hear the sound of just you in full power, to really look at who you are. And when you do that, like whether you're mad, you're upset, like lately I had been feeling really upset and shit like that, and it would just fuck me up, and I'd look for anything. Like, because I don't drink or smoke, I would look for then something else, whether it was binge watching a show, eating food, all these ways to sort of to satisfy the mind, even though my body didn't need half that shit. And I began to realize, like, fuck, I really don't like myself. And I don't know how many people out there need to hear this shit, but if you can't sit alone and be okay, you don't like yourself. And you need to take a hard look at whatever that is without being critical and just accept that fact. When you're angry, accept that you're angry. Don't fight it and go, shit, I'm angry. I'm kind of an angry person. And then go, okay, well, do I need to be that? Do I like this? No. Well, and without judging it, right? Or I'm kind of a jealous person or whatever it is, right? Really look at that and just be like, okay, and accept that as part of your dark side. Because everyone has a good and a dark, right? However you want to label it. Everyone has that duality. And the more comfortable you can get with that, the less you'll start hurting people when that's activated. Because then you can be upset and go, you know what? I have a right to be upset, but I don't have a right to make that affect you. So if you just do me, or vice versa, if your partner gets upset with you, you have an absolute right to be upset, angry, jealous, whatever it is. But I do not have to then myself get angry, jealous, or upset. And I hope you can respect that. And then you begin to create such a healthy space for the society at large if everybody did this en masse. But what do? Instead, we generally go out and we find ways to Instagram filter our lives with any kind of things that'll fill the void of being alone. And then we're only together because we need each other as providers of that fix. But until we can actually be alone and enjoy that and be strong in that, we'll never truly love other people. It'll always be a use.
Yep. That is why you're so empty during our soapboxes. Because you deliver all the real shit in the middle of the podcast. You have nothing left at the end.
I'm sorry.
You whacked it off like 3-4 times, and now you're dry as balls at the end. You have nothing to give out.
I gotta say, guys, I don't like myself. I
Really?
love myself.
Oh, fuck you. Whatever. It's
He had us
fucking
going.
okay.
Yeah, he had us
Whatever.
going. We thought Joe was going to give us a
I
real
know,
one.
what a dick.
Woo! Y'all motherfuckers hot.
He said, Ric Flair, woo!
I love me.
As he's driving home in his car.
I've just been doing a lot of work, man.
Is this because of the new year and the whole thing about 2020 or
well,
no?
just everything that's happened to me. I mean, I recently came out of a relationship and all that. And so I just
Oh, we didn't know what happened.
no, I just, there's just so much that I want to do that I want to stop because, I don't like that. I don't like the holidays. I don't like that.
But you had fun these holidays. We
Well,
took you to Christmas.
No, but you guys had to drag me out. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't call it drag. I would call it more of like forcefulness because of what's
Wait, you guys went out for Christmas?
No, because Keenan was texting me the whole time for Christmas.
Fuck with Joe.
Fuckers.
No,
Keenan was like, bitch, you either come to Joe's or I'm gonna come to you.
exactly. Well, this is when we were at the restaurant. We were eating with your sister.
And then sure enough,
yeah,
after our
yeah,
podcast,
yeah.
Joe started hitting me up. He was like, Philly, I need you to confirm you're coming to my crib for New Year's. Like, you guys started making the effort because I don't know. I was making it way too clear that like I wasn't in a good mood.
Even if you were saying it, but you weren't saying it fully, your body and the way you say it was too easy to pick up on. Like, we need to have you more around us. So when I found out that you were doing your own thing for Christmas by yourself, I was like, fuck that. You know, I do that for.
And I just want to say, guys, that I fucking love you guys.
We had a
Like,
pretty good. Yeah, that was a pretty good.
Yeah.
night.
I mean, you guys
I
shitted
think-
on me the whole night. But
I
whatever.
hope that if
I
anybody's
love you.
listening to this shit, that you take a look at whoever's around you right now, and just tell them that you fucking love them, because these people don't have to. These people don't have to be around you.
That's what's great about Joe's statement about you choose your friends, you don't choose your family. Your family, probably maybe hit up or call or whatever. Like for mine, they were just like, "Hey, what are you doing? What's up?" But they wouldn't be like, "I'm coming to you," because we have to see each other in face. My brother didn't do that. My mom didn't do that. They weren't as like gung ho as I was to be like, "Philly, no, we're hanging out regardless." I could have been with my family during Christmas, but I was with Joe.
What's up?
I don't know why I did that, but it
'Cause we love
was,
each other.
it was the
Fuck
biggest
you.
mistake in my life.
Eat a dick.
Fucking hanging out.
Biggest mistake? You fuck.
I know. Yeah,
Eat a
take
dick.
it. Take it or leave it.
You know
bitch.
what?
Right?
What do they say? They
What
say
are you gonna do about it?
they said something about. I read something once. It was super corny and shit. But they
Give
were
me my
like,
PlayStation back. You
whoa,
fuck.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Come to my house if you can.
Wow.
Oh,
Because
I
I know
can.
you don't want to.
I don't want to, but I will. You know,
What is
Fucking
it?
drives by my house every day.
Friends are God's way of apologizing for your family. That's like a thing that I read
Huh.
once.
if you believe in God.
Yeah, if you believe in God, or friends are Satan's way of apologizing for
Hey, hail.
for
Saying
your
whatever.
family.
Speaking of friends, I made some new friends over the weekend.
Wow.
Look at
It's-
you.
It's not that hard, guys. I mean, I was forced in a position to hang out. I made some genuine friends, or they're close enough. I would say maybe 2 out of the 5 I really hung out and got numbers and contacts. I could actually do what you were talking about, call them up and express, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Well,
but
you
still,
don't know. It's still fresh. It's still fresh.
I don't know.
He said, I don't know. I'm pretty excited about this one.
The way we were all vibing as a group in a community, it definitely seemed like,
Wow, I see Keenan's leaving us behind. Okay.
yeah,
No, it's okay.
I'm finding my own TSG.
That's fine. Absolutely.
No,
You
that's
should do
beautiful,
it.
man.
100%.
I actually would prefer our own TSG. We need to have a noob,
Hey, wait a minute.
a TSG noob. We'll call it something else, maybe Galaxy Forever or something. I know it's so funny.
You think that's funny?
Yeah, because
It isn't fucking
people
funny.
take
Joe's
it so
like, do you
seriously.
really want to have this conversation right now?
And I know they listen to this podcast too, but it's like that's why I brought it up in their podcast. The belief system that people have take so strongly for something that
It's
there's-
what keeps us together.
but I'm pretty sure there's things that I do that I'm very serious about that you guys are like, well, who gives a fuck?
like
It's
Dungeons and
that's-
Dragons for starters.
For real. Yeah.
I'm fucking
Dungeons
teasing you,
and
man. I'm just
Dragons.
teasing you.
You know
That was
what?
an easy shot.
Shit.
That was an easy shot.
Little fuck.
But no, that
I'm
Dungeons
a
and
level
Dragons,
1 wizard, and by the end of this year,
but Dungeons and Dragons is technically like a TSG. It's a community of people.
very,
Surrounded
very
around a cause.
smaller group of yeah.
it could
but
be a bigger.
yeah,
it could be a bigger crew though.
there-
Or is it like a limit? To you only have 10 people max.
There might be. Now, if we go into the thing of LARPing, maybe that's a bigger thing like a
What does
TSG,
LARP
but
stand
they-
for?
Live action,
Live action,
RPG, role-playing
Role-play.
game. Yeah.
Like kind of like in Comic-Con where they dress up in the costumes and all that
You
shit?
could dress up. Sometimes some of them don't. But you could dress up. It would be nice to actually have a facility or not a theme park, but a place where it's kind of like laser tag, but you
You can LARP.
but it's you can LARP. It's out. But they build it up in a good way, like
Keenan,
Disney.
You
would
literally
do
just
for-
came up with a business idea. And if you get the right money and you can prove that there's a market there for that,
Well, there is Duncan's Emporium of mystical and magical items and whatnot.
well, there it is.
But I haven't created the website yet. But it's me. I would create LARPing weapons for
and then
for
you should
those
have
things.
a LARPing
So
area.
you're the blacksmith.
yeah, pretty much.
Here's the thing, though, Keenan. If
You're
you
like, oh, where he traveled. I have just the weapon for your adventure.
You,
but Keenan, just like people go to escape rooms and shit like that, you could easily.
that's the idea.
Yeah,
it's
that's what I'm
an
saying.
escape room, but the style is more as like a tag or a capture the flag kind of thing.
Like laser tag.
And look, we can do the business
but
plan
you
right
have
now.
like little tags where you hit and you get like.
Hey, anybody listening to this shit, don't copy this, okay?
I know this is my idea, bitch.
Well, we're recording it live, so we have proof that we came up with it.
oh, okay.
What-
Thank you.
what-
You're
what-
not a bitch.
What I'm saying is
Some
that
of them are.
look at how readily available this business plan is, because now you can go to investors and take to them the numbers behind escape rooms, the numbers behind places like medieval times and other things of that nature, and then say this is essentially a mishmash
I
of
see
all
where you're
that,
going.
and then just present that to them.
Or I could just create an escape room that is that. Like I
And
actually
that's
make an
also a
escape
thing.
room because there's no escape rooms.
Y'all
that-
got to consider too the insurance behind this.
Heavily, 'cause they're hitting each other with stuff. Yeah, but there are. Oh, I wonder what the insurance is on escape rooms. The thing is on escape rooms and
There's no real danger though in an escape room.
Wait till you see my guns there.
some of them use electronic circuits and stuff, and they have to make sure that is not. If somebody from
I
OSHA
wasn't
comes
even
through one of
listening
those
to you.
places,
He's just sitting there like, nah, my God.
no, I'm serious. If somebody from OSHA comes to one of these escape rooms that I've seen,
Like
they
what?
shut it down.
Like what?
The one that's
Oh, they're not up to code?
No,
But like
it's
what?
very
What?
slapped
I
and
want to
put
know
together.
what are you talking
Well,
about?
there's mechanical. You mean like the actual electronic elements?
Yeah.
Well, most of them involve lights, different color lights that are plugged in the walls using like one, what do you call it? Power surge to power surge all over the place. I don't have the behind the scenes, but there are elements of like moving parts that are around there. Whether or not, I don't know if they're up to code or not, but something is being pushed that activates something else in the room. So and with doors opening and closing too. So you got to make sure that all that stuff doesn't lock you in, or something gets wet and it like, circuit breaks,
All
and then
you
you're
need to do
like,
is bring my voice in there.
or if I push the button and it zaps me, things like that.
I don't think I
If you look at I mean, how many?
He's a mechanical engineer, Joe. We should trust his
No,
professional
I meant like
opinion.
if you haven't done escape room yet, right?
I have.
I thought you said you haven't.
I have.
Okay, so
Did
Philly's
it
the one that
without you.
has.
Yeah, I haven't for
We're
sure.
supposed to do an escape room.
I've
in
done
Philly.
at least 5 escape rooms.
So when you see the quality of work in those escape rooms, it's not up to. It
I
looks like it's
disagree
put
with you.
together.
No, but a lot of escape rooms, you're never in any real actual danger, and I don't think I've ever seen an escape room that has like exposed wires that you have to link together to activate something.
Nothing like that. But I mean, like
MacGyver and
it's
shit.
Yeah,
its build quality is not.
Can you
there's
just
not a
saying
lot
like
of
the doorway is supposed to be?
There's not a lot of
11
money
inches.
being put into these mechanics that are making it work and function. They could have easily put a panel over, its circuit, and we won't know it. But when I see a panel that's like barely painted fully, it's like,
Because
can
it
tell-
is your professional experience speaking here, I would actually trust it because I haven't built shit. I know you guys build things together. Like you guys both work in industries where you build things. I would have to defer to you in this conversation.
and it could be the escape room we go to. There's one that's in Hollywood that's in a hotel that's really fucking fancy and nice, and you
Yeah.
can definitely tell it's well thought out. But I've been to some.
I still have my passport for that one.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
nice. There's some that I've been to where it's not well thought out, and it is, these Hollywood flats that are put together that you can move with your hands once you bump up against to it or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, if any of
It-
our listeners
it depends
are
on the
single,
escape room we go to.
if any of our listeners
But
are
you-
single and want to join Keenan and I, because
Yeah.
Joe can bring Sonia or whatever.
But Gavin,
Why would you say
Sony.
it like that? But you also signed a disclaimer, or you signed something before you.
you do.
ever-
You sign it.
go-
So
yeah.
does that void the insurance we're talking
absolutely.
about?
And it allows it doesn't make the facility responsible
If
For
you
any
hurt
injury?
yourself-
Yeah. So that I agree
So we can
with
do
Joe.
the same thing for the idea, which is how we started this
That's
conversation.
what I was thinking, because if you brought up insurance, then maybe we'll just have a not non-disclosure, but
Yeah,
sign up,
liability release.
yeah,
Yeah.
liability waiver.
But
That's what
Yeah.
it's
I
called.
feel like adding on the Joe, what I feel supports my theory is that because they have that document that you sign, they can now go less on the quality of build work just so we can get you through this maze, and we don't have to spend. I don't know. I need to go to the ones you've been to, and I need to show you the ones I've been to, because I feel like
I just got a great idea. Next time I start like dating someone seriously, I'm gonna have them sign a liability waiver.
Dave Chappelle it.
If your heart breaks,
Oh God.
sorry.
It is because of no fault of my own.
Oh, that's weird. But yeah, I like the idea, and I kind of want to do that.
You heard it here first, folks.
yeah.
We may have gone off on a crazy tangent.
But how
because-
would you throw a fireball though? I guess it would be a Nerf ball that you throw at somebody. Ooh, little
It
flames
would
on
be
it.
like a little Nerf ball.
You get like a certain amount of Nerf balls in your wizard bag, and then you got to make sure. Oh yeah, I like that.
Red one for fire,
Blue
white
one for
or blue
frost.
or for ice.
And you have to
frost.
stay still if you get hit.
A yellow one for a thunderball.
That'd be sick.
Lightning bolt.
I have a resistance to lightning.
I know. I don't know if I want to handle all that nerdum. People being all technical. I have resistance +3. And it's like, oh God, come on. I don't want to do that.
Well, that's why everybody before they go in has to already decide what they have on a card.
Yeah, I think it can work. I can think I can make it work.
Yeah.
I actually would like to build an escape room that is like more interactive, because now here it goes back to the ones you've been to. How interactive are they? I've been to a lot that I don't feel like I'm being really escaping, and the puzzle solving is always cool, but I never feel like I have to jump over something or swing from something to another thing, stuff like that. Yeah.
I've been.
So you want something that requires athleticism.
Yeah, like those parkour rooms, but also an escape room.
Interesting.
Like an Indiana Jones theme where I have to get out of this temple.
Like American Gladiator, but as an escape room.
Yeah, which is kind of, what's that
Legend
game?
of the Hidden Temple.
Legend of the Hidden Temple, pretty much.
Yeah, but then
Is that the first escape room?
Probably.
But then what ends up happening is like, I mean, you're paying money to do this thing.
I am.
And if you have to go over obstacles and all this stuff, you fail, and then that's the end of your turn.
Well, it's the turn.
So-
It's a hour time limit. Like
that's why they should prepare.
Yeah, but that's why they don't make it obstacles, because they don't make them like active parkour obstacles, because some people won't be able to do it and they fail within minutes.
Yeah.
Well, that they know what they're getting into. Like, it's obviously going to appeal to a certain group. Like,
It would be very niche.
Yeah.
But that is
But
why
there are-
it would succeed.
And there are the climbing tower thingies and parkour rooms and gymnastic rooms that people go to.
That's what I'm saying. And
But
that's
not a lot.
But do you
It's
see
there.
that's you're thinking along the right lines, because then you can prove that the climbing gyms carry a certain type of people that would be similarly interested in this, and whatever the size of that market is may actually be correlated. I mean, it's not a sure thing, but it can correlate to how many people may actually be interested in a parkour style escape.
Yeah,
room.
because Legends of the Hidden Temple was a very popular show. We all liked it.
I think
and
Joe.
to
No,
live it-
you were on what show were you on Nickelodeon?
Guts?
No, it wasn't Guts. It was Double Dare.
Double
the
Dare.
slime
That
one,
was your
right?
thing? Double Dare?
Yeah.
Did you get slimed?
I didn't get slimed.
Does it look crazy when people get slimed?
It does.
What was the
I didn't
one
get
that was
that.
like American Gladiators but for kids? And they had to
Yeah.
climb this tower made out of rock.
That was Legend of the Hidden Temple,
Legends, wasn't it?
No, Legends was a side-scrolling one. They had different rooms.
Kablam!
And you looked at it from the
I
side.
don't remember. That
Ah.
was like 25 years ago, Keenan.
We also like Salute Your Shorts. Remember that?
Yeah.
There's
I
probably like
like
80% of
Salute
our
Your
listeners have no idea. How many of you guys actually even remember
Cool.
like Nickelodeon?
They have to. A lot of our listeners are our
Old
age.
as fuck.
Old pieces of shit. And I say that in the most endearing way.
bunch of old time.
Yeah,
This is the
let's see.
Old Timers podcast.
Dick
Clarissa
bags.
explains it all. Where's that one where that girl turns into like a liquid?
Alex Mack.
Alex
yeah.
Mack.
Yeah, there's that
Damn.
one.
What was it? The Crazy Adventures? The Weird Adventures?
The Weird Adventures of
Yeah.
Alex Mack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what was the other one?
Damn.
There
That
was
takes me back.
Goosebumps.
Night of the Living Dummy. That was always my show.
Yep.
Oh, Are You
All
Afraid of
that,
the Dark?
course. Are you
Are
afraid
you
of the dark?
afraid of the dark?
All that obviously was there. And then
oh, I actually did a music
else?
video shoot with one of the girls who was in all that.
Oh, you
She
told
used
me
she
about
used to
that,
be a like a newscaster. One of the
I
newscasters.
remember there. Yeah, yeah.
Not the
The Latin chick, right?
no, she was
Or she was
actually-
Filipino?
no, she was black.
Oh, yes, I know who you're talking about.
Amy Smart.
Yeah.
No, was that her name?
I don't
Amy Smart, something like
know.
that. Something Smart.
Are you looking it up?
I was gonna look up the other shows on Nickelodeon.
Well,
but should I not?
I mean, we're gonna.
What the fuck are you doing, Keenan?
I'm
This isn't
answering
the
my
Nickelodeon
messages.
show.
Piece
Keenan.
of shit.
I saw you on your
You
phone
goddamn
earlier.
liar. Anyway,
Hey, I'm being Joe this year. Joe 2020.
congratulations to
Hey, my guy.
wanting to improve your life.
What's up, my guy? Keeping 100.
100%.
100%.
100%.
Okay.
Doing this?
That's funny. That's funny. Let's try to do that. Okay. Let's
Do
see if
what?
we can impersonate each other like how we imagine.
I
each
don't
other.
know. Fuck you guys. I want you fucking impersonate me. Fuck that. That's fucking bullshit.
Like that one thing where The Rock and
Moving
Kevin
on.
Hart
Hey,
were-
wait. I want to hear about your New Year
Resolution?
your New Year adventure.
Oh,
Told you. I see. And I didn't even ask him to bring it up.
Wasn't that going to be part of your soapbox?
I said unless somebody didn't bring it out, I was going to put it on my
Okay,
soapbox.
okay.
My New Year adventure.
Mhm.
So the adventure you're talking about is what happened to me in the hot tub, right?
Well, just in general. What you did.
Hey-o.
Oh, well, okay. Well, the New Year adventure spanned over actually a week, pretty much till today.
No.
No.
I'm asking about your New Year, like what happened on.
Joe
New
wants
Year's
to know why
Eve
the
to
fuck
New
you weren't
Year's
at
Day.
his
Oh
house
yeah.
for New
What
Year's.
happened on New Year's Day, right? Yeah.
Why weren't you
Day.
at? Why
Yeah,
weren't you
Eve,
at Joe's
New
house for
Eve
New Year's?
into
Yeah. Okay.
day.
Yeah. So I made a
Explain yourself.
long time promise to Thomas and Sheila, Sheila that was on the show,
Mhm.
and then Tony, who Philly introduced me to. So good time friends, long time friends. And I promised them months in advance that I would hang out with him because Tony is taking like multiple jobs now. He has very few time. We haven't seen each other hang out. It's almost as if you and I only saw each other like once a month, or if that. Like it dwindled pretty quickly. So as a favor and present slash to make him feel good about life and that he still has friends and hang out and on all that stuff, so he doesn't feel pretty down on New Year's Day. I agreed to hang out. So it was at Lucky Strikes in downtown, and I said that on the podcast. Actually, I'll be at Lucky Strikes downtown, and it was cool. I had a friend come through. She listens to the show too. Her name's Cianan, which is awesome. She also showed up to my birthday that same year, so she's cool.
Oh, she came to the TSG joint.
And she came to the TSG joint. She's one of the homies.
So luau.
Yeah, drank and had fun. It was great. So we all did bowling, and it was pretty cool. Not a lot of people at the bowling alley in downtown for New Year's. I thought it'd be shoulder to shoulder, and what they promote on their pictures, like everybody's there having fun. It wasn't dead, but it wasn't a lot of people there. But we had unlimited food, which was great. It was amazing. You'll love the cheese poppers they had.
I've been to Lucky Strike.
You ate the cheese poppers?
I've been there, yeah.
And then had you had the egg rolls too?
No, I haven't had.
Oh, the egg rolls are really good, and the boneless chicken wings were ridiculous. But so it was good, and they had these pita stuff with like sauce and whatever. It was really good. So the food was great. Unlimited drinks too, and we bowled, which we had to do. We had to go bowling because that was fun. It's been long. I don't
How much
remember
did you
the last
pay?
time.
That'd be cool.
It was $100 per person
Oh, that's cool.
for unlimited food, drinks, and bowling for about 2.5 hours. Like, yeah,
Unlimited bowling.
unlimited. Yeah. So it's cool. And then soon after clock strikes 1 or 12, sorry, and we're having fun. We're jerking off. All of a sudden, we hear
You were
You were
jacking
jerking
off.
off? What the fuck? Okay, continue.
I'm
intrigued.
Freudian slip.
Freudian slip. Because
But she no,
Why do you
wait,
keep looking at your phone?
because it buzzed. Fuck you.
All right, continue.
My phone's over there. You happy?
my phone's over here.
I know. All of a sudden we heard, stop, get off him. And we look over to our right, and 2 lanes over, these 2 dudes are in chokeholds of each other, like really strangling
Over
the shit.
bowling? Oh,
Over
man.
something, who knows? I will not say what their ethnicity was because it's fucked up. But they were all going at it, fighting like mad crazy. And
At a
I
bowling alley? No class.
I just stood there drinking my drink,
like Baby Yoda.
just watching that shit go down.
Sipping.
I know. That was a funny scene. I like the fact that they implement stuff like that. But it was crazy because they were going and they were really brawling it out. Like really, I really thought he was going to choke this dude out. And then like 10 security people came through and police came through and pulled them all apart. And then sure enough, like 30, 40 minutes later, when we thought it all died down, people started crowding around and started yelling at each other. And they had to call security again and get them out. I was like, I had no idea what happened or what went on, but it was wild. It was wild to start off the new year, the first hour, with a big old brawl. It's a
Wow.
a
Keenan.
bar
So
brawl.
you had fun.
Yes. Fuck you, Joe. I know you're trying to give me shit for
No.
not being at your house.
Nah,
Is that
dude, it's
it?
cool. It's all good. It's
I didn't
all
get
good.
to see fireworks. I went to see fireworks, but it was
I
fun.
didn't either.
It was
It's not
fun.
the 4th of July, man.
I know, it is
I
not the 4th
really
of
don't
July.
understand the fireworks.
Yeah.
For New
We
Year's.
need to go to your roof for the 4th of July. We haven't done that. That'd be awesome.
Oh, that would be dope.
But it was interesting. It was interesting. It was a nice way to bring in the new year up until the fight. But also the fight was cool because now it's a omen for something.
It's a little story.
Do you
Fight
own
for your
bowling
right?
shoes, Keenan?
No, my grandmother did. She was in a bowling league.
Oh.
Yeah. She had her own ball and everything customized. It was pretty cool. Still in the family with the ball bag
So
and everything.
they didn't give you the technique, the family technique.
She
over the
did,
years?
and you'll see me when I bowl. I do this like leg crossover thing
No
that you
shit.
see in the ESPN stuff.
Are you actually good at bowling?
I'm decent. I'm not that
Really?
good. I'm decent.
Did you win?
I can break 100.
Did you win?
No, fucking. Oh no, a friend of ours in the group won, but Shauna almost won. She hasn't bowled in 3 years, but she like
She has the technique.
something about it. It was crazy,
Something bad, I know.
but it was cool. It was fun. Had a lot of fun. What's that group?
Hey, Shauna listens to the podcast, huh?
Yeah.
Shout
She
outs.
does, and she promotes her podcast. She
Hey.
gives it to other people. Say, hey,
Shout
listen.
outs, Shauna.
advertises.
What's popping?
But yeah. So, how was your New Year?
Wait, you were gonna say something about a group.
Oh, I can't pronounce this. Deuce and Mero? Deuces? Is it Deuces? Deuces and Mero? Yeah, one of the dudes, I kid you not,
Jesus.
it could have been like the spitting image. I know it's not him because they're in New York. So there's no way this
You don't know
fucking
that.
dude
They
is
might,
him.
They might have come
Yeah,
to
you
LA
know.
because they were like, fuck New York.
Well, no, but it was him, a girl,
And not
another
because
guy.
fuck New York, but because like during New Year's,
It's
it gets
crazy.
crazy.
Not
Yeah.
crazy. But I wish I could have asked to say, are you fucking, but I didn't. I was, because he's bowling, he's doing his thing. But I was like, oh shit. I'm like, oh wow, okay. Bowling right
tight.
next to us. Yeah. It was fun. I'm glad I did it. Next year, I'll leave myself open for whatever. But
You left yourself open. They punch
Yeah.
you in the chest.
yeah.
Open chest.
We'll see. I don't know.
No, you don't. I mean, if you enjoyed yourself, go spend another $100. Go ahead. Whatever.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, buddy.
We had fun.
Wow.
How filthy.
All right. Wow.
We did, actually. We had a great time.
I'm kidding.
Wow.
Dude, we had so much Chinese food.
I was
too.
with you for Christmas the whole day.
You're welcome.
So are you. Fuck. And I paid Melissa.
Wow.
Did you pay me?
You didn't ask for it.
Oh, I didn't.
If you asked for it, I would have gave it to
Merry
you.
Christmas, bitch.
You filthy animal.
You guys have a strange
Christmas, you
friendship.
filthy animal.
We do. I can't believe I didn't do this with.
It's one of the best friendships ever that I've ever had.
It's like, stop.
I'm submissive and I have a long patience. That's the problem.
My God.
Patience and submissiveness really goes a long way.
in our friendship.
Yeah. Because all the things I should be doing with like exes and girls, like we talk with Francia, like I should be having these banters back and forth, arguments, stuff like that. I do with Joe all the time. Just no fucking after the end of it.
Never.
Never.
I don't really believe in shoulds though, man. Not anymore.
But didn't you agree to it? Like
agree to what?
in relationships, the man and woman should have disagreements, arguments, and or fights. I've heard that from a lot of people, and I could have swore you agreed to it on the show.
It's going to be inevitable that you run into situations where you guys don't agree, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad relationship.
I'm not a fan of arguments. I'm not a fan of like.
I feel like if you argue on a consistent basis and you say, well, it's good that we do that, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. The fact that it's good that you need to fight.
I become a really, really, really cold, bad person when I argue.
Like abrasive?
I become like incredibly dismissive, and I'm not a good person when I argue.
I don't think anybody is.
I'm
like when it comes to like romantic relationships and you have an
but
argument.
I'm like the dude that's like, all right, whatever. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Like, and I mean it. Like, I really don't give a fuck.
Right.
That's the type of person I am when I argue.
And then you say sorry later afterwards? No, because you don't give a fuck.
I'm very similar in that respect, but I is it because you think the argument shouldn't be happening in the first place?
Yeah, I don't.
times.
I that's my perspective. If we shouldn't be arguing in the first place. Why do we even get here? Why don't we try methods to not get there first?
And as I was saying earlier, I think it has a lot to do with the fact that there's almost this feeling or expectation that like I have to be upset because you're upset right now and you want me to be upset with you, right? And it's like, look, you have every right to be upset whether I agree with it or not, but that doesn't mean that I now have to be upset too.
Right, because
you have to be responsible for your own feelings, and it sounds like that's not fair, but the truth is every relationship, if you really look back on it, right, anybody who ever charmed you or anybody who ever made you feel like, wow, this person really loves me, it all came from you. Sure, they were around and they were maybe have been an inspiration for it, but those feelings, Those are your feelings, not theirs. When you're in love, it's your feeling of love, not theirs. Right? And so it's only when we take responsibility for our feelings that a relationship can be healthy. So even if you have an argument or a disagreement, if you will, right? And people might forget, oh, my feelings are my own responsibility. Oftentimes, the reason why people argue has a lot to do with the fact that maybe they feel unheard or unnoticed. You know, and it's almost like a I need my fix. Whereas Eric Byrne, a psychologist, wrote a book called Games People Play, where they talk about this idea of what's called the social stroke. And essentially, let's say you go into you work at this building, and every day that you go there's somebody at the reception desk, and you meet them for the first time. It's like, hey, how you doing? Oh, my name is. Your name? Okay, nice to meet you. Right? And you got to go back the next day, and this time you take a second. You're like, hey, I remember you. Yeah, you doing good? Yeah, I'm doing good. And now there's more like it's like a second stroke, right? Then the next day you do a third stroke. Yo, how you doing? You had a good weekend? Yeah, I had a good weekend. Thanks for asking me. Right? Great, 3 strokes. Then the next day you're not in the fucking mood, and you just walk past them. The people are like, they feel robbed. Where's my social strokes? Some people take that shit personal, right? And those are just the games that we play with each other. As people, we feel like we're entitled to some shit, and that's why arguments start. Like, where's my thing for me? But that's just because people haven't necessarily found in themselves their own way to get over the shit. Like maybe when they were a kid, they weren't given the chance to learn how to soothe themselves. You know what I mean? Or real bad shit happened, and now you did something to trigger that wound in them. Not that you did it, but they saw you do something and they interpreted that as a reason why now they're triggered, right? But it has a lot to do with just people not taking responsibility for their own fucking feelings. I'm equally guilty of this shit. There was a period in time where when I wouldn't get a text back right away, I was like, what the fuck's going on? And then a day or two passes and I'm like, wow, they really didn't write back? Now I'm triggered. But you know what? Nobody owes me shit. And if I can't accept someone when they don't even write back to me, like, fine, cool. If I don't like it, then I should go somewhere else. I should. Or I can accept the people for who they are and say, you know what, I love them anyways, no matter what. And you might be upset right now for whatever reason, but that doesn't mean I have to be upset. You know? But I think it stems a lot from that. Then that's why we get abrasive and we're like, whoa, I feel like you're trying to get me to now be upset. I'm obligated to feel the way you feel because you feel that way. And it's like, I'm sorry you feel that way. And it's like, whoa, that's an unhealthy way to speak to someone. And you see all these memes and they're like, if they say, I'm sorry you feel that way, as opposed to, wow, I can't believe I did that. Then there's all these like, oh, then you got to leave them, girl, or whatever it may be.
Yeah, but that's on them too, their mentality of the way they think about it.
If you got that upset, like you've got to learn. The one thing I walk away from, and I'll stop here, is like, you can't fall in love with potential. You got one thing I'm very guilty of is I see things, I see into things. And put things that may not even actually be there. You got to look at shit exactly for what it is. If you find extra surprises, great. But look at it exactly for what it is. And if somebody does argue with you, you just remember, do you love this person? Did you say to yourself, I'm committed no matter what? Then take the good and the bad. And if they're arguing with you, they want to argue. Right now, they clearly want your attention.
Yeah, I want to start implementing, what do you call those things for football? Those flag cards?
Red flags.
So penalty. I'm seriously gonna do it. The next girl that you meet that's my girlfriend that I'm seeing, I'm gonna start implementing that. But
then they're gonna assume that your relationship is a joke.
No,
because you're making light of a situation.
Well, if you make agreements,
you need to break the ice.
Well, if you make agreements, right?
And don't add some weird shit, put it in my head that made me look bad, Joe. Fuck you.
No, it could be if you did talk about it and go, hey, new plan. Whenever we get mad at each other, we can give each other penalty cards. As long as it's an agreement between both people in the party, that's actually a fun way to do it.
Well, there's something else.
It's like having safe words or whatever.
That's what I'm saying. I met somebody who uses safe words in a relationship. And the safe word is something really silly and ridiculous.
I tried that once.
Did it work?
Maybe like 8 years ago.
Plus, you know I was joking anyway, so fuck you.
And like I think the thing was like the safe word was like bananas because I forgot how it came up, but we were supposed to say that. Yeah, we were supposed to say that. We were supposed to say that if things started getting out of hand, right? And we agreed to it.
And so
but then we never fucking used the word.
Yeah, I don't because that's.
But that was just my not being developed and them too.
No, but they
mature enough.
They came up with that. You didn't, right?
No, I remember we both kind of came to that conclusion.
Because I feel like that's somebody putting on a forceful agreement for you. Hey, let's come up with something called bananas.
Well, okay, so we had an argument over the phone, and then at the end of it, we were both like, "Wow, how the fuck did we get here?"
Uh-huh.
And they were like, "I don't know." I was like, "That's so whack. Like, I feel like there's no point to that." And they were like, "Yeah." And then I was like, well, "Why don't we come up with like a thing where like if we say this to each other, like we'll know, like just back off for a second." They were like, "Okay." I was like, "I don't know, bananas," and they were like, "Yeah, let's do that." And we never did because shortly after that, something really bad happened in their own life, and they just completely distanced themselves.
Yeah, I
But
don't.
they never told me
that.
bananas or anything, right? So,
right.
but I think it has a lot to do with the fact that we both had a lot of development as people to do. You know, like I can only have this perspective now, and maybe you guys too, because we've been through shit. We're older and experienced.
Well, I'm on my new Joe 2020, so I'm going to be a totally different person.
Oh, I see.
What I was before.
You're gonna see it's gonna work out really well for you, man.
I'm actually getting some numbers from girls, so that's kind of cool.
Wow.
Yeah,
Look
my
at
mojo's
you.
on it.
Look
Yeah.
at you. Look at you.
You started the Joe course, and look at you.
I'm not
now.
even gonna call you Cianan anymore. I'm gonna call you Jianan. Look at you.
Jianan.
What was El Guapo's assistant on? Was it on Three Amigos? What was his name?
I don't remember.
It's like his close partner. Okay, I'll find it out. But now that's who you call me.
It's El Guapo and then El Asistente.
And not to be super racist, but I could have swore it was like El Jefe or something like that.
It's
I
not,
thought that was
that's-
his
why would
name.
that be racist?
Because it's a generic Spanish name.
Jefe?
Yeah.
That's more like a term of endearment.
It is? What does
Yeah.
Jefe mean?
Boss.
Boss, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What does El Guapo mean? Oh, Guape. El Guapo means the beautiful, right?
The handsome.
The
Yeah.
handsome one.
yeah.
Huh. I won't look at it. I pulled my phone, I touched it, but I put it back.
It's because you're a piece of shit.
No,
I
wait.
am a piece of
I
shit.
didn't tell you couldn't use your phone. I don't even know why you're listening to Joe.
I know.
Fuck Joe, dude.
I know. I'm still working on this Joe 2020 thing.
Don't feel pressured by Joe. Fuck that. Pick up your phone, Keenan.
Wait, I go listen to your ass.
No,
Joe and
good.
Philly 2020.
Good. You didn't listen to me or Joe now. See, and therein lies the freedom.
Yeah, for me, I'll never have freedom.
Wow.
Because he's been shackled by this society for far too long. Him and his ancestors.
Start walking out with the dashiki and shit. Little
No
hat.
longer
Redfish.
will our
Give a dog a bone.
will our penises remain flaccid and unused.
My bacon smelling fine. Swine, my brother.
Oh my god! There's some new stuff on Netflix. Speaking of which, of Don't Be a Menace that
Yeah, it's on Netflix now. Yeah.
that we should probably check out, or if you have any recommendation stuff you've seen. So I know Six Underground. I watched that. That was a straight up Michael Bay to the 10 times max film.
Explosions, photo
From the back.
lens flares.
Yes. Oh, beautiful women walking by for no reason, then goes to the action scene. Like it's ridiculously Michael Bay, 100%. It was still entertaining, but it was also uber violent too. There's some stuff in
Like
there.
Tarantino-esque.
Yeah, and you'd be like, damn.
Or like John Wick.
Yeah, or more Tarantino, but
Okay.
maybe a little bit mixture. But it was like there could be scenes where they could have just cut away, and they didn't. And it was like it was super
It was
unnecessary.
heavy R rated.
Yeah, it was.
It
So
was
silly.
R-rated. Hey, what kind of movies do pirates watch?
Oh my
Only
God.
rated R movies.
Anyway,
Oh.
there's what else did I'm trying to think of other things that were on there that I saw.
Woo.
Maybe next episode I'll make a quick list or whatever. But you can go on YouTube and check, what cool things come out on Netflix. But give Netflix a try this time. There's some stuff coming out that they're releasing that I think is pretty cool.
What's a pirate's favorite part on a woman?
Oh my God, the booty.
The booty.
Yeah, whatever.
Come on, kid. Do you have a dad joke on deck, Keenan?
Unfortunately, I do not. Sadly, I do not.
His whole life is a joke.
Oh, wow. Yeah, wow. And with that, we've come to the soapbox segment of the podcast.
I know what my soapbox is going to be. Fucking Joe.
Piece of shit.
And as you know, the soapbox is an opportunity that we usually give to the guests first to promote whatever they want, say whatever they want, their message to the world. If you were to have a billboard, this is where you would put out the message. Keenan, you then take it usually after the guest.
I am up to bat to the plate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hit 'em.
Hit me with your best shot. Fire away.
So it's two things. So I have to be really quick with the first one. So the whole business seminar that I went to over the weekend, It was part of that whole thing.
I don't remember you mentioning you went to a business seminar. Sorry, this is your soapbox, but I really don't remember
that. No, I didn't.
Okay, so never mind.
But thanks for catching that.
Okay.
I was trying to just make gloss over.
Okay, sorry. So start your soapbox over. Okay.
Anyway, I went to a business seminar. I was it wasn't meant for all businesses. It was a particular one dealing with financial guidance and all that weird stuff. But it was a part of the reason why I say I mentioned before, but it was a part of the whole thing where I said it was an MLM, multi-level marketing thing and all that stuff, which going there, the business model still is, and the way they handle it or the way they show it was very obvious. They had one person come on stage and then they get a few people, then those people get a few people and so on and so forth, which builds a pyramid, obviously. But sadly enough, what I took away, this is what hurts me the most, is that because there were so many people there that believed in it and wanted to use it for their financial struggles, because the product they sold was genuine. How they sell the product was against my morals. I didn't like that. It's the same way they sell Herbalife and another one that's Univera, because the Herbalife product tastes great and it has chemicals in it to make you lose weight and stuff, and that exercise mentality is great, but how they sell the product is horrible. And so I'm there with everybody telling their life stories and all that stuff, and it's very emotional, and I get it, but it's just sad to see everybody there wanting to use this for their help, and just knowing the model they have to use and the mindset they have to do to have it, to be there, is stay awake, Joe, on my soapbox. All right, I saw that, you little puss. Joe 2020. All right, this is me.
Let's get back to the
anyway.
Children.
I know I'm giving Joe more shit.
Go on.
So yeah, that was the thing. That was the sad thing. I just want to tell you, see it, be a part of this system as an outsider. But it can be used. A lot of this stuff can be used towards your own advantage, which I did. I got what do you call it? Business contacts, sales, stuff like that. Networked, girls' numbers. It was. I totally went there for a whole different purpose, not for what everybody else went. So I used it to my advantage. It was great. And it was in Palm Springs, which is also awesome. I've never been to Palm Springs before. But the second thing and the main thing of the night was I thought Joe was going to bring up, but he didn't. He kind of did gloss over a little bit. But I finally have a moment in my life where I can say, remember that one time in the hot tub, which, long story short, I got invited to a party. I went to a party in Culver City. I forgot the name of it, some fancy spot in downtown. Joe mentioned it once, but I forgot the name of it. From there, the people I was, doing my cool friendship mojo thing that I got friends and contacts, invited me to a party in the Hollywood Hills. So I agreed to go to that. And then we drank and smoked there, and we ate chicken wings, and it was going great until eventually I joked around about going in the hot tub and doing it naked and stuff like that. And somebody else joked around with it too, but believed in the idea. And I was skeptical to do it, especially when I was the only one at the hot tub at this moment, about to take off my clothes. And sure enough, one of the ladies in the group asked me if I was serious about doing it. And I said, yeah, I'll do it, but I don't want to be by myself doing it. So she just dropped trout right in front of me like it was nothing, and then hopped in the hot tub. So I was like, oh shit, I'll do it too. Took off my clothes and hopped in the hot tub. And then two more people joined us. And they were both husband and wives. So I was the only single one in the hot tub, but these couples were there, and we were all butt naked. And it was really interesting because I never did that before with anybody. I never did that with Joe or Philly or any family members. But with strangers, it was just like what we talked about on the show. I think we said if I would ever do, I think it was like a gangbang or something, or porn or whatnot, something like that. And I said, it was like if I was in a 2-way or 3-way, would I ever do it with you guys? And I was like, maybe not, but I'll do it with strangers. And it turns out I am comfortable to be naked around strangers for some reason. It was very liberating moment for me.
Okay.
Yeah. So if anybody out there listening to the podcast and want to get naked in the hot tub, let me know. My number is 555-333. Yep. You can find me on Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, Hulu, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok,
Are you accepting dick
LinkedIn,
pics?
dick pics. Is that an app? Is there an app, dick pic app? Yeah. So that was it. New Year's was great.
He said, "Is that an app?"
Business trip was great. I took way good advantage for myself than what they were actually promoting. And then the hot tub. So the whole week from December 30th to January 4th. Is that where we're at? 5th? January 5th? A whole week. And I got to build a sign, and I'm almost done with that, so that's cool. And yeah, that wasn't quick at all, was it?
Doesn't have to be.
That's right, because I'm Joe 2020. I'm coming out for you. Watch out, ladies. Watch out, gentlemen, as friends and
Okay.
business partners.
Okay.
But I'll have sex with the girls. But business partners with the guys and stuff like that. Unless it's in a group, hot tub moment and we're all naked. Anyway, if you want to gangbang, just call me up. I'm totally down. On to you, Philly.
Okay. Oh shit. The slow clap defeated.
Wouldn't that be weird if I got hit up for a game? I was like, I don't know about this.
Oh
right.
man. Yeah, short soapbox. I just want to reiterate that the points I like to make and that I'm definitely keeping with me throughout the year is twofold. One is the quote I always come back to: if you're the voice inside your head, who is the person listening? Right? And what that means is that if you can observe it, it's not you. Whether that be your anger, your jealousy, your doubts, your fear, even your confidence, even your love. If you can observe it, it is not you. Right? And that being said, then that the second point I want to make and leave you with, a quote to leave you with, is a need of the mind cannot be satisfied. If the need is in the mind, it cannot be satisfied. Keep that in mind as you pursue things throughout this year as it comes along, whether it's you're pursuing the idea of like getting on a good diet, right? Just remember that you got to focus on what your body needs instead of what your mind needs, because your mind will drive you crazy. And you're like, okay, well, how do I get over that? Well, just remember, if you're the voice inside your head, who is the person listening? At the end of the day, you're going to hear good and bad ideas from this fucking cacophony, this symphony of just judgments and ideas that just runs nonstop. It's a tape that just keeps running, and they're the voices of your parents, or the voices of your haters, your enemies, frenemies, your lovers, all these things, but they're not you. But the thing is, they just haven't been processed. They haven't been sorted. And one may never actually finish that, because every day you're undergoing immense change and transformation. But just try to still your mind and see it for what it is. And know that the you, the real you, doesn't have to be inundated or taken hold of by it. Just remember, if it's in the mind, it won't be satisfied. But you can focus on the things that your body does need. Just want to put that out there.
Hey, my guy.
Hey, that was fast. I like this. I like this Jianan 2020.
Oh my
Shit.
god. Oh my god. Whatever.
Jianan?
Oh, we do have to talk after the show though. Just
I
so
don't
you
want to
know.
talk to you.
But now I forgot what we were supposed to talk about. Shit, it was important. It really had to do with the podcast.
Too bad. All right, so I'm gonna hit my soapbox.
Wow, this guy.
It's 2020. There's been a lot of talk about having 2020 vision for 2020 and being focused and starting this year off right, this decade off right. But the new decade doesn't start until 2021. You fucking idiots.
What?
There's no year zero. Fucking idiots. So anyone saying that 2020 is the beginning of a new decade is a fucking idiot. Because it isn't. So get it together, stupid asses. And I say that in the most endearing way. I love you guys. I love all the listeners. You guys have kept us running, which we're really appreciative of. I hope everyone had a great New Year's Eve and brought the new year right. I know I definitely did. I had some fun. You know, I've rekindled old friendships, and I've made new ones, and that's why I was really appreciative of 2019. Going into 2020, I'm gonna continue to kick ass like I usually have. You know, and continue to enjoy life to the well, maybe not to the fullest, because that'll take me to a dangerous place, but I'll definitely continue to enjoy life, and I hope everyone else does. So I think it's safe to say that for those of you who didn't listen to a couple episodes ago, it's safe to say that we will be having a live season finale for season 3. There will be a live season finale with an actual audience, a live audience. We'll be announcing the venue and ticket sales and all that in the next couple of months. So our season finale comes in May, right?
Major.
June 10th.
Okay, June 10th. So I think by March we should have a venue, and we'll let you guys know when tickets will be up and everything. Oh, do we? Oh, look at you.
Because I'm working it. And somebody should be helping working it too.
Well, you should let us know,
I
stupid ass.
did.
No, you didn't.
It's with Ray. We're all there.
Who's there?
You.
Where?
With you, me, and Ray. We had to talk about it.
No, we didn't.
Here. And I said the name of it, and he mentioned it. I got a guy in K-Town over by Joe's house, blah, blah, blah. And you were all, you know what it was? Maybe if you paid attention a little bit more when we have our meetings.
It was a weird, Anyway,
whatever.
so live season finale, guys. We hope everyone comes and enjoys it. It's going to be super dope. And that's just what we're going to be bringing to 2020. We're going to be putting more videos. We're really trying to take this pod a little higher. So stay tuned, and we fucking kick ass, and thank you for continuing to listen to us in 2020. This is I guess this is our second year, but I mean we started this podcast in 2018, Philip and I,
without Keenan.
For sure. There's no year 0, right?
Yeah, there isn't. So we started this in 2018, and we never thought that it'd be what it is today, which is super dope. So, bringing Keenan in was a dope idea.
I don't think we really had a choice.
Yeah, the people wanted it, so
the people have spoken.
The people have spoken.
I have spoken.
So we're glad we're still doing this, and we're gonna try to continue to do this as long as possible. As long as possible.
And by that we mean having longer and longer episodes.
I don't know about that. I think we pushed it a little bit with our 2 hours. No, actually, people fuck with us. So anybody, if you've ever been told that a 2-hour podcast is ridiculous, you're fucking stupid. Or whoever told you that is stupid.
There's totally podcasts out there.
Yeah.
I've been listening to that talk about they do like 4 hours or whatever. But but most people like somewhere in between the half-hour mark.
Yeah, but they're fucking. That's trash. We have a lot more to talk about than 30. We talk about one topic in 30 minutes. So there's no way that we could do a podcast.
Just get to the fucking point, man.
Yeah. So we continue to listen to us, and it's proven because it shows it on our numbers. So we love you guys, and let's bring in 2020.
I love you. Woo-hoo. Oh yeah, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.
Oh, one more thing before I let you go. Coachella. Frank Ocean's going to be at Coachella this year.
Oh, okay.
Rage Against the Machine is going to be at Coachella this year.
Which is funny because
we have to do the episode at Coachella.
Travis Scott is at Coachella this year.
What?
Lana Del Rey is at Coachella this year. I know I've had that conversation about Coachella is the fucking machine that Rage is raging against. But okay, you want to be at Coachella?
Are they? But they're not
From the
the main performer. Who's the main performer?
They're headliners.
They're headlining.
Rage Against the Machine's headlining with Travis Scott and Frank Ocean. Each one a different night.
Rolling.
So
When
if you guys haven't had a chance to look at the lineup for Coachella this year, do it. You're gonna be pleasantly surprised. There are a lot of great artists.
What do you fucking work for Coachella?
I fucking hate Coachella, but the fact that there are a lot of great artists this year is
I've never
like
seen
making
Rage
me
Against the Machine
really
live. I
feel-
really want to. The whole group, the original people.
Yeah.
From the prehistoric ages.
Can we go?
Yeah,
I
that's
wanna
it.
go.
And that has been episode 57. So
Bum 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 bum. Cianan is a bitch. Cianan is a bitch. Cianan is a bitch. Cianan is a bitch. Philly is a bitch. Philly is a bitch. Joe is a bitch. Joe is a bitch.
Joe.
Anyone you name, they're a bitch. They're a bitch. Everybody's a bitch. Everybody's a bitch. Everybody's a bitch. Everybody's a bitch. Killing in the name. Bitch, bitch.
yeah, motherfucking bitch. Yeah.
Eat your woman out.
Suck your man's dick.
Yep.
Bitch.